are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Oh, good morning. A couple of cooler days on the way. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and then we warm up for the weekend.
Well, it is almost Christmas, Bill.
I got to tell you, if I can just start by saying it, I get it. Every commercial should be holiday at this time.
Yeah.
I understand that. But everywhere you turn in the media, it seems, everything, it's like Christmas is tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched the news yesterday, and it was like, is Christmas tomorrow? It seems like we're preparing for holiday dinners, and is Christmas tomorrow?
No,
We've got 20 more days of this crap, for God's sakes. I mean, maybe it's because, I don't know, I've gone through 58 of these. And it's just, the same thing over and over again every year. Here we go again. But I mean, maybe we should not get too celebratory until maybe the week of.
Well, there's something to it. Like here on our stations here, we'll do.
Oh, let them go their Christmas stuff down the hallway and all that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, and I get to.
When you're out doing your shopping, you want to turn on Christmas music. That's perfectly fine. But I'm just saying, at some point, aren't we? Isn't there something else going on in the world today? It does seem like it. Like the world seems to be on fire.
You're done with the how-tos and the safety tips and all that other stuff.
Listen, yes.
Yeah, I get it.
And I think most of our stuff, it's not like the old days, when we had to light a candle on the tree. Things are pretty safe these days. The other thing is I discovered yesterday, and I can't believe it's taken me so long to discover this. This is unbelievable to me, that the automakers finally listened, and I assume this has been around for a while, maybe 10 or 15 years, and I didn't know it, because I hate it when I let my windshield wiper fluid go empty.
Right.
So I'm always pretty good about, I think I'm getting down, let me go fill it up. And I'm never in a situation where I can put the whole bottle in. Yesterday I ran out, and I got a new bottle of the blue stuff.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
And the entire gallon jug fits in the tank in the car.
Yeah.
It did not used to be that way.
Yeah, it used to be. It left like a 2-inch.
You would be, if you let it get completely empty and you filled it. Come on, you remember this, right?
Oh, yeah.
You would pour it all in, and there'd be about, like you said, like an inch or two that's still left.
Yeah. What am I going to do with this?
What would you do with it?
What are you going to do 5 days later?
I would
go
always
top
be
it
like,
off?
I don't want to store this, so I start splashing it all over the car, running the windshield wipers. There, it's gone.
Saying to the guy in the parking lot next to you, you need a little
You need
top
any?
off?
I got a little top off here for you. But now they have like I put the whole gallon in, and it didn't, and I wasn't empty yet, and it did not. I mean, there was nothing left.
The thing that's
What
annoying.
finally listening to the people, the automakers of America and the world.
That's the right after their strike demands. They said we want bigger tanks.
Apparently.
No, the
How
thing
long
that's-
has it been though? How long has maybe 10 years or 15 years of cars?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Has it been that long?
From what I can remember. And the
Yeah.
annoying part is I always run out when it's a snowstorm or there's a lot of salt on the road and you get the brown streaks on your car. You get a truck. You get a truck in front of you
Which
that
is the
throws
worst.
it back on you in
Yeah,
the
I
windshield,
know. It's
and then
the
that's when you
worst.
run out because
Yeah.
you can't go any further.
So somebody asked yesterday, how come you didn't cover the LaPola Karam court appearance? Well, it was Friday, and we went the weekend. I didn't even think to get back into it, but they did have a court appearance on Friday, and they'll both. I believe Karam's has been adjourned until January. I had the date here somewhere. I believe he's on January 19th. But the big one is now this I believe is county. This is county. Mm-hmm. This would not include the federal charges against Lou LaPola. Right? He has federal charges.
Yeah, he does.
So, but in terms of the county, Lou LaPola has a deal on the table.
To maybe testify against Karam.
All I know is there is a plea deal that has been offered. In fact, during the court appearance, LaPola spent some time behind closed doors and was offered a deal. He now has until January 5th to accept or decline on this deal.
And when was Karam's adjournment?
Karam won't be back he'll be back in court on January 19th. No deal was offered to Karam, though.
Interesting.
Now, LaPola's case, you have the federal case that happened, maybe 3 weeks before, maybe 4 weeks before, maybe a little longer than that.
Yeah.
And then, but for Karam, this is all brand new. So his next court appearance will be on the 19th, but a deal is in the works for Lou LaPola. And to me, what I had kind of thought through this whole thing is LaPola gets arrested first, and then he is interviewed. Probably, maybe they got a smoky room, one light shining down on him.
Where were you on the night
I don't
of the
know.
theft?
But I do think that he had plenty of opportunity to say, I can't go to prison.
Yeah.
And what do you need to know? I kind of feel I don't know if this is true. I'm just surmising.
Yeah.
You kind of
He's gonna
wonder.
flip,
You're thinking
saying.
about strategies. Like maybe he's talking. Maybe you remember. You're not a Mets fan, but do you remember? Do you remember when Devin? Maybe you remember this. Remember when Cespedes was playing for the Mets?
Yeah.
And you remember he came out with that armband that was yellow as a canary?
Yeah.
I think that maybe there might be some talking going on, but I could be wrong. Now a deal is in place. We'll see where it all goes.
Interesting
so that's
strategy.
That's what we know. So there really wasn't much that came out of it. We'll know more after the holiday,
Interesting strategy.
which we'll be celebrating intently for the next 20 days.
So be on the lookout for that.
Yes,
It's an interesting strategy that McNamara's office will take because, as he said to us, other charges are pending. So again, I'm just surmising here, but that may be the lead into some of these other accusations
you got a lot going
that
on
are
here.
being looked into.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot happening here. So with that said, let's see what happens. But we won't know anything on that until after the first of the year. Dr. Ken Hall is on this morning from Wynn Hospital, and I'm here to tell you he is making a major announcement today.
Really?
Dr. Hall will be on at about 7:15, And
That's always exciting.
I would listen in to this at around 7:15 this morning. He is making a major announcement. We'll get to that coming up. Words of the year. I was waiting for Tanya Powers on this. She does this story, covers it every single year. We'll talk to her in just a few minutes. Both Webster and Oxford have made their selections for words of the year.
Lately, sometimes they haven't even been words so much as
this year. It is like that.
Phrases the kids are saying.
There's a phrase that's included. We'll get into it coming up. Also, Utica Mayor-elect Mike Galimi will be on. I do want to talk to him a bit about St. E's, but even more so, I think that if Utica is facing anything, any problems at all, the one big one to me coming up for 2024 is teen violence, youth violence,
and crime,
shooting and crime.
Yeah,
we have a 14-year-old who was just shot the other day. This is a serious issue, and it cannot be. You cannot just expect the school district to solve this problem. It's a far greater problem. Just think about it. This 14-year-old is out at like 1 o'clock in the morning when he was
on
shot.
a Saturday. Yeah.
I mean, this kid's 14 years old. I don't know about you, but when I was 14, I wasn't out on the streets
No.
in the middle of the night like that. So
I think my bedtime was still 9 a.m.
you can't expect the police. You can't expect families alone just to solve this. This is going to take a major community effort, and I would think that this teen violence, it has to be considered one of the biggest problems facing a Galimi administration going into 2024 for his inaugural year.
Yeah, and I spoke to him briefly about it yesterday, and obviously he'll be on to speak more about it. But I think he's going to have a stance that may get some pushback, but I think is the correct stance to have with regard to this. So we'll hear from him soon.
So we'll get into that a little bit later on this morning. Also, Tim Julian, county legislator, on the St. E's issue.
There's a master plan steering committee.
Yeah,
that's got some interesting. So it's got an interesting cast of characters, so to speak.
And then binge boozers. I think COVID did a lot of bad when it came to binge drinking, and one of the biggest victims, they say, not only in the United States but around the world, is women. And we'll get into that. I don't know about I'm talking about you go from watching your local news, which is one holiday fluff story after another, to the most dismal news in the world with what is happening in Israel and with Hamas. I mean, it's just the most depressing visuals.
I can't watch it.
It's to the point where it is hard to watch every night. It does remind me, growing up as a kid. I didn't care much to watch the news. I didn't, but my parents would always have it on in the 70s when it was night after night after night, horrible shots of Vietnam. Yeah. It does seem very similar to that right now. So anyway, we'll get into all of that stuff this morning and more. We'll take your phone calls, your messages, whatever you have, 315-736-0186. Am I wrong when it comes to, are we too much Christmas right now? Too much holiday?
I think, yeah.
Maybe I am wrong. Feel free to let me know. Nobody's ever afraid to tell me I'm wrong.
Did I go through the annoying process with my girlfriend of putting up the Christmas lights, which ultimately led to frustration?
I get that.
Right,
our lights are up too. We have our house is all decorated, but I just think you decorate it. Okay, now let's go on to life. It's not like no, you're not having milk. We only drink eggnog going forward. I mean, that's what it kind of feels like to me. A little much. Tanya Powers on the line right now. I'm in a Grinch-like mood, Tanya, this morning. I don't know why.
Ooh, you're a mean one.
I'm a mean one. That's a good way to put it.
With us an exhaust.
That too.
Yeah, nicely done.
Thank you.
You're overdosed on Christmas already?
I feel like everywhere you turn, it's another holiday fluff story when the world is burning, for God's sakes. Yeah. So, yeah. But we need a good word story. Every year at this time of the year, the dictionaries come out, and they say, hey, we've added a few words to the dictionary. And and you cover this story annually, and I always look forward to it. And here we are.
Yes. Yeah, and every year I remind my boss, hey, the words of the year are coming out. I really want to talk about this.
Yeah, because and it's not always a fluff story by any means, because oftentimes people walk away like, well, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
surrounded by controversy.
What are we looking at this year, Tanya?
Well, the 2023, the Merriam-Webster one came out last week, and we'll get to that one in a second. The Oxford Word of the Year everybody was talking about this yesterday, and it is the new word is called Riz.
What's that?
R-I-Z-Z, Riz.
Riz.
Mm-hmm. And it's basically believed to be short for charisma, and it is describing one's ability to flirt and attract someone romantically. It can be used as a noun or a verb, depending on the context. To riz is to like attract or seduce them. If you're trying to show a little charm and that kind of stuff. That's basically what that's about.
I feel bad for the guy who's like needing to go to the bathroom, and his wife thinks he just said he's got a riz.
Yeah.
And she said, you are not going anywhere and flirting like that. I'm not going to allow such a thing. No, I got to go to the bathroom, for God's sakes.
I mean, depending on how long they've been married, she might go, no, you have no riz.
That's
Sorry,
right.
honey.
That's right. You're
Riz
clearly
fresh out, you know?
you're clearly riz free.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
I don't know if you believe this, Tanya, but I've actually never heard that word directed at me. So
I've never heard Tanya. I've never heard the word. I've never heard it before.
No, me either.
Yeah. Well,
this is, and remember, last year's was much the same. Last year's Oxford word was goblin mode, if you remember, and most of us were like, I've never heard of this before in my entire life.
Yeah.
But yes, it's the finalists they beat out that Riz beat out this year. Swifty won against de-influencing.
Oh, God.
Riz won against beige flag. Situationship won against parasocial, and prompt won against heat dome. But Riz was kind of the one that was, I guess, the one that beat everything else.
Heat dome is one that we heard a lot this year with the meteorologists. They were all over that.
Oh, yeah. Well, other than Swifty, I don't know any of those other things.
Yeah,
So.
Riz. She's got Riz, or he's got Riz.
I think I knew all of these.
Okay.
The Merriam-Webster word of the year is much easier. I guarantee you've heard of this one. The 2023 word of the year is authentic.
Authentic, yeah.
My authentic self.
So, but with a different definition, right?
Right, true to one's own personality, spirit, or character.
Yeah,
And
okay.
that's what we see a lot of times. Sometimes they'll pick a word that's already, in the dictionary. It's already a word that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
It's just got a different meaning, or used in a different way. Maybe it's a noun and it's used as a verb now, or in addition to, or whatever.
Interesting,
So that's where and basically what Merriam-Webster does is they don't look at the reasons, people are looking for specific words. They actually look at the data on the lookup spikes on online on their website, and events that correlate to them, like when data spikes happen when people are looking for certain words. Okay, what's going on in the world that would cause this?
Right.
That's how they pick theirs.
So I have definitely heard it. Actually, I've heard this word a 1,000 times yesterday, it seemed. Everyone was describing what the owners of Cameo said when they saw George Santos coming across. Yes, we'll take him. He's authentic. This guy's completely...
He's got Riz.
Yeah, he's got Riz. He's going to sell. He's authentic. Yes. Yeah.
Just use both of those in a sentence. I'm very proud of y'all. Way to go. There you go.
You've taught us
There we
something
go.
today.
How did we do it? Oh, my Lord. All right. Well, it's good stuff, and it is always interesting, the words that come out, and it's good to be back to normal words, even though they're not completely normal. But you remember during COVID, it was all new COVID stuff. We were learning terminology.
Yeah. In 2020, it was pandemic. In 2021, it was anti-vaxxer.
Yep.
Last year's was gaslighting. So there was a couple of years there where it was all something to do with the pandemic. Right?
And if I could, on gaslighting, I just feel bad for the person who was just speaking to someone who doesn't remember what they actually said. because they will definitely be charged with gaslighting when they say, no, that's not what you said. You're gaslighting me. No, I'm telling you it's not what you said. It's become quite... That was a real big word last year.
I still don't understand it, truthfully, to be honest. But
well, I believe abusers are gaslighters. There's no doubt about that, right? They're bad. They're using it in a very bad way.
Yeah, that's where you see it a lot. That's not the only place you see it. But yes, that is definitely that is one of the tactics an abuser could use. Yeah.
And I also thought it was interesting. Gaslighting came from a movie in the 1940s, where that was.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, very interesting. Okay, always love. You know it's holiday season when Tanya Powers comes in with the new words. Good stuff.
I do what I can to bring you a little respite from all that joy that you're surrounded by.
Thank
so,
you.
You just let me.
Thank you
just
so
let
much.
me know when I can help.
All right. You have a wonderful day. Thank you.
And Bill's heart has grown 2 sizes
It has.
in the last 8 minutes. So thank you.
I love it.
Yep. All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Authentic and what was it? Riz? She's got Riz. She's got Riz.
And all that Riz.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see some comments here this morning. Nagel, this society. Yeah, Nagel, you're absolutely right. It's just it's crazy. This is Mike this morning on the 14-year-old and what is going to be the big problem of the year for Utica. And it's not just Utica, but it seems to be every city, and it is teen violence. And Mike, and you tell me if you agree on this, and I completely agree. Teen violence equals poor parenting, no parenting. And it does seem to be the biggest problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
there's nobody watching these kids. There's nobody guiding them, setting an example, saying no. What happened to that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I always hesitate since I don't have kids, but I mean, where else are you going to turn at that point,
And then Mike says, wouldn't it be great if they had a little port on the side of your car and the gas station had a windshield washer hose that could fill the windshield washer tank for you in your car? I will say I have seen that once when I was getting my oil changed. They brought out it must be just this shop, had a hose, and they squeezed the thing and they filled up my windshield washer.
So it's a mechanism. They pull the trunk open and just...
Well, it was a hose. It was like you were putting water in it, but they were putting windshield washer fluid. So it must have been connected to some sort of a tank and had a compressor of sorts that would pull the water out of there, a pump. Interesting. Got a break. Hold on tight. We'll come right back at 6:39. It's Tuesday morning, and there's much to get to. Turning Stone made a big announcement yesterday. They're getting ready for the opening of their sports book palace. This place is going to be awesome. And we'll talk about that just a little bit because they made another big announcement along with it. I wonder what that means. We'll get into it coming up here. 640 at WIBX.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know regarding your estate planning. Specifically, you should have prepared what is known as the Big Three. Basic estate planning is comprised of the three main documents that you need. First is the will, next is the healthcare proxy, and last is the power of attorney. What most people don't know is how important of the three the power of attorney really is, because New York State has no simple method for you to act on another's behalf if they become incapacitated. I am often asked, what is probate and why is it needed? Probate is the act of administering the will through the New York State court system. It requires a filing fee and other actions to be taken, as well as a petition to be filed. It is time-consuming and can be expensive. It can be avoided by using a living trust. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name. They know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
The holidays are the happiest time of the year. That is, unless you or your loved ones are miserable because of colds, sinus infections, or allergies. This holiday season, give the gift of better breathing with Navage. What makes Navage so effective? Well, unlike cold and allergy drugs that might take a long time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage provides fast relief from sinus congestion in 30 seconds flat. Navage doesn't just relieve symptoms, it attacks the cause by sucking out the germs, allergens, and viruses trapped in your nose that are making you feel miserable. Best of all, Navage does it naturally, without drugs. Wash away your cold and congestion problems this holiday season. Add Navage to your gift list so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Keeler, I know you're in there.
Tim, what are you doing?
Your wife says you're procrastinating and overdue for your cancer screening.
I am doing it, I promise you.
You'd think after you had cancer the first time you'd be smarter than this.
I'm actually prepping for my colonoscopy right now as we speak, and I have to go.
You're not getting rid of me that easily.
I really have to go. Badly.
This holiday, make the pledge to get tested for cancer. Early detection could save your life.
We need more toilet paper.
Real men get tested for cancer.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay. Yeah, didn't Tim do just a great job on that? I mean,
yeah,
actor extraordinaire. That's what I say.
I mean, he's just every performance has been stellar.
Stellar.
Commercials.
There's no
he never
doubt.
disappoints.
I don't know if you saw, but George Santos is now on Cameo. Cameo is the site where you can go. I mean, and a lot of celebrities are on here. We'll do this. You can pick. Get ready to think of a celebrity that might or might not be on here. A lot of, and some are big. A lot of washed up celebrities are on here. Do you know what it costs to get George Santos to send a message?
Oh boy, $50.
Devin, what do you think it costs George Santos?
$1, Bob.
I was gonna go with 100.
It is only $20. He's up. He is up now. He is up on Cameo.
Hold on, I gotta look
Cameo, Cameo, if you're not familiar, is a website where you can go in, and maybe it's your friend's birthday, and you could have Derek Jeter. Although I don't think Derek Jeter is on. You could spend some of these. You might spend $400 or $500 on. And they'll send you back a FaceTime type message.
Yes,
saying
I did this for my mom one year.
You did? Who
Green Bay Packer.
Okay.
Who at the Jamal Williams, when he was on the team, he was a running back, and then he got traded.
Hey, I'm just calling. Andrew told me to call. I hear it's your birthday, and one of those things. But this is where Santos has landed now that he's out of Congress.
Well, so I'm on his website now, or on his page, and it says former congressional icon in quotes with nail paintings with a hand being painted. I don't understand.
I don't know what that is.
And then the expelled member of Congress from New York City. And it says temporarily unavailable.
Temporarily follow to be notified when they're back for personalized videos. Well, he may be on vacation right now. Within 24 hours, he'll deliver to you. And here's an example of one of his messages.
To continue to represent you guys. Love you guys. Wish you the best this coming year, and enjoy the festivities with family. And just, till we meet again. Bye.
Okay, here's another one.
Hey, James and Sophia. Congratulations on your engagement. And also, I wanted to stop by and say thank you for your thankless public service in the Delaware legislature. It is not for the faint of heart. Staff is...
I got to tell you, I think what's happening here is people are doing it as a joke.
Yeah.
Like, I got a friend right now. I have a couple right now that I'd like to send it to. Like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
I know you're one of my biggest fans. We really know they hate him. Right? I mean, I could think this should be sent to all of your most conservative fans.
Yeah.
That would be a hoot. I think that's what people are using it for, and it only costs you $20. People will be all into it. I think that's how it's going to be used.
Attention all sussy rumblers. I've been alerted that Sneeko is a soy grifter and likes to be twerked on by fresh oily butt in the club.
Okay, clearly this is somebody's having fun with a prank here. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. This is a former member of Congress, for God's sakes. Holy cow.
Hey, fantasy football leagues. Dorks. Looks like one of your friends isn't really your friend, and you should really consider a new friend because he thinks that none of you get laid because you're a bunch of dorks that never get anything right on your football fantasy league.
I got to say, this would be, Mike just said, you should send this to Chuck Lester. Send a George Santos cameo to Chuck Lester.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And here's one more.
Hey, you beautiful bastards.
Okay. See, you just don't know what you're going to get out here. This guy.
I was going to say, are you even allowed to say some of this stuff?
This guy is not only a liar, he's a vulgar liar. You don't know what's going to come out of his mouth.
Are we on? Yeah, okay.
Wow. Yeah, so for $20, go to Cameo.com. You could send your friend, especially your conservative friend, a Cameo message, holiday greeting.
Or your liberal friend. They'd really love that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, is there anybody that likes George Santos?
I don't think so.
I've never heard anybody come out and say, come on.
You know, he's a nice guy. He deserves a shot.
You're picking. I believe everything he said.
Yeah.
I don't know. Music history was made this week when Brenda Lee's classic song hit number 1 on the Billboard charts. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree hit number 1 for the first time ever after being released 65 years ago. It makes Brenda Lee the oldest artist to ever top the charts at the age of 78.
Whoa.
Yeah. Do you know how old she was when she actually recorded the song?
It'd have been under 20.
She was 13 years old when the song came out in 1958.
Wow.
For the 65th anniversary, she released a fun YouTube video where she lip-syncs the original while family, friends, and Santa enjoy the holidays around her. There are cameos from Trisha Yearwood, real cameos, and Tanya Tucker in it as well. It has over 3 million views. But Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree is now number 1. All right, here we go. This is Paul Buckley up early this morning.
Whoa.
Ready to go. Paul, good morning.
Well, hello, Bill.
Devin, come on, man. What are you doing in there? The hell? Good morning, Stephen. What's going on?
Well, last night I was at the Stanley Theater for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer musical.
Oh, okay. All right. What'd you think?
I loved it. It was a pretty good show, pretty entertaining. Didn't get over too late, and I loved the ending. They sang the famous song, and it was very good show.
Did they include the whole dentist? I want to be a dentist. All right, now everybody get away from him. He's a little weird. Did they do any of that?
Yes, they did.
All right, I love that.
He's
Christmas
a freak.
special. He's a freak. We're not going to play with any more of these reindeer games with Rudolph. He's got a red nose, and he's different, if you know what I mean.
He doesn't pay his taxes.
I want to be a dentist. Good stuff, that Rudolph the Red-Nosed
I wish I
Reindeer.
had Riz.
Riz. Okay, Stefan, you went, and it was a good show, and it got out early enough for everybody to get home on time.
Yes, it did.
All right, pretty cool. All right, well, thanks for the update, Stefan. Congratulations.
You're welcome.
You have a wonderful, wonderful week. Were you at the teddy bear toss last week? You were not.
No, I wasn't, but I'm going to stop by and donate to Teddy Bear. I can still, they're still accepting them till the end of the week.
All right, good stuff. Okay, thank you, Stefan.
You're welcome.
Chuck Lester is already responding to the coward that mentioned me. I'd be glad to murray him, her, they, or them. I don't know what that is. What is that?
Oh, God. Well, we got to get Tanya back on.
What does murray mean? I don't know what that
means. I
means.
have no idea.
The Bengals last night, Monday Night Football, turned out to be a battle of the backup quarterbacks when Jacksonville's Trevor Lawrence got a game-ending ankle injury in the fourth quarter. Bengals backup Jake Browning went 32 out of 37 for 354 yards, only his second start ever. The game went to overtime, and here is the final call. Here we go.
Evan McPherson will try to end it from 48 yards away. He got it, and this game is over.
All right.
Well, God, I gotta listen to those two next week.
It was the Bengals' first road win on Monday Night Football since 1990.
Whoa! They were 6-point underdogs, I think.
I believe
against Jacksonville.
So
6.5.
We mentioned Brenda Lee is number one. What other news is out there this morning before I break here? Did you see the guy that Weitzman? This is out of Syracuse, Skinny Atlas, actually. He's the guy that was paying all the money to bring in the players to Syracuse.
Yes.
He's opened a new sushi restaurant in Skinny Atlas, one that I think would be worth trying out. I might be interested in that. What do you think this year they've announced for 2023 the most popular dog name is in New York? It's out.
The most popular dog name?
Dog name. Naming your canine companion is one many pet owners take seriously, picking out just the right moniker for their best pooch. A recent report revealed the most popular dog names in every state, including New York. The number one dog name in New York was revealed to be Bella. Bella. Actually, we had a dog named Bella a while back. That may come as no surprise, as Bella was the most popular dog name in America, topping the list of 37 states as well as the District of Columbia. Bella is the number one dog name this year, not just in New York, but all over. You saw that it is that time to start thinking about minimum wage if you're a small business owner.
Yeah.
And a minimum wage is
moving on up.
Is about to go upstate. Downstate, it'll be $16 an hour, but upstate, beginning on January 1st, minimum wage goes to, do you know what it is?
It's going to be probably less than that.
$15 an hour.
15?
Yeah, it'll be $15 an hour. And you do wonder about the, the pizzerias and that sort of thing. And what does it actually do?
Well, now that's the question. Now, if it's an industry like that, a food service industry, if a lot of it's based on tips. Now, I get it, pizzeria is different than like a server or a bartender.
If you're in a restaurant, there'll be a different restaurant. I don't know what the minimum wage is for restaurant workers, but it won't be $15. But if you're if you're working in another, like a pizzeria, you don't work for tips,
right?
So you're getting paid minimum wage, and you wonder how those small businesses will be able to handle the increase, although it has been slowly increasing. We're now reaching that $15 mark, which is the last uptick in for us anyway in the minimum wage. And Britt Hume out over the weekend talking about reality check and involving 4 Republicans involving Donald Trump. He told Brett Baer on Monday concerns about Trump's plans to be a dictator if he wins. And his answer to that is I would not worry about that. We had 4 years of Donald Trump. He blustered and bragged and threatened and so forth, and yet he didn't bring us to the brink of dictatorship. Hume said Trump's attempts to cling to power after the 2020 election failed, and he dismissed the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol by Trump supporters. What was labeled an insurrection lasted 3 or 4 hours, and it was no match for the constitutional restraints which exist and would exist in a Trump second term, said Britt Hume. Then he gave Republican voters a warning, however, of what a Trump campaign might be. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if you agree. He's more likely to drive the Republican Party into defeat at the hands of Joe Biden than he is to ever drive the country towards dictatorship. Do you have a take on that?
I think
even at Joe Biden, where Joe Biden is today, the fear is that there are so many haters of Donald Trump that still Donald Trump would lose to Joe Biden.
Yeah, I think if those are the two candidates, I mean, batten down the hatches, get your My Patriot supply, and
boy, it is amazing. This is the best we can do. Wow. And finally, a fun fact about minimum wage from Mike. If you have a drive-through, you have to pay the minimum wage. I guess I didn't know that. So if there is a drive-through, you pay minimum wage.
Okay.
Did not realize that. Listen, got a break coming up next hour. We'll get into a whole bunch. And as I said, Dr. Hall from MVHS with a big announcement coming up next hour. News is next.
Need new tires for winter? Then visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair today. Now through December 14th, save up to $70 instantly when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone, Blizzak, or Firestone Winter Force tires. Save up to $100 instantly when you use your CFNA credit card. Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair located in South Utica, Yorkville, Rome, Herkimer, and downtown Utica. And online at tolmanstire.com. Offer valid November 15th to December 14th, 2023. Cannot be combined with other offers. See store for details, subject to credit approval.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica, Rome, W295DI Utica, Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Israel's intensifying attacks in southern Gaza. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, ordering civilians to evacuate several neighborhoods.
Loud explosions have been reported overnight in the southern city of Khan Yunis. Satellite images appear to show tanks and troops on its doorstep.
Fox's Jonathan Savage.
Yesterday, the State Department said too many civilians have died in Gaza. This morning, a United Nations official warning that for Palestinians caught up in the conflict, nowhere is safe and there is nowhere left to go, adding what she calls an even more hellish scenario is possible.
Now, Fox's Trey Yanks near Gaza reports more fighting on another front.
We're getting this update in from northern Israel right now, indicating that Israeli fighter jets struck a number of Hezbollah positions in southern Lebanon after multiple launches were detected earlier today toward the Jewish state.
Now, because of that war in the Middle East, Europe is facing a huge risk of terrorist attacks around Christmas. The warning this morning from the European Home Affairs Commissioner. FBI Director Christopher Christopher Wray will testify at the Senate this morning, urging lawmakers to keep a key national security tool in place. Wray plans to say, considering threats like foreign adversaries, Iran, which has gotten more brazen, stripping the FBI of this tool would be disarmament.
That surveillance program expires at the end of this year. It's the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It allows the FBI to track communications between certain foreigners abroad to monitor national security threats. But Americans can get caught up in that, and some lawmakers say that's a problem. They're warning that this system can easily be abused.
Fox's Brooks Singman. What used to be a house in Arlington, Virginia is rubble. It exploded after an hours-long standoff between a man inside who had shot flares at police trying to serve a warrant. 3 officers suffered minor injuries. The man was the only one believed to be in the home at the time. America's listening to Fox News.
All right, Christmas will be here before we know it. If you're looking for a really special gift, I encourage you to check out the firearms made right here in America by our great friends at Henry Repeating Arms. Now, you start by going to their website, henryusa.com, order their free holiday gift guide, and they'll mail it with free decals that you can use for stocking stuffers. Perfect timing. Folks, when you give someone a Henry, you're giving them a work of art that is built with the finest craftsmanship I've ever seen as a collector. Now, their performance is top-notch. Mine were accurate, all of them, right out of the box. They shoot smooth and straight, and they have been reliable ever since. They have over 200 models of rifles and shotguns and revolvers to choose from. One of the things I like the most about these firearms, they're family heirlooms. They'll always be backed by the company's lifetime warranty. So if you want to put something that's made in America under the tree this Christmas, henryusa.com. Get their free gift guide and their decals today. That's henryusa.com. You will love this company.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 7:03. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, it's 30 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Couples are now scrambling after a wedding venue in Cazenovia announced the cancellation of all of its 2024 events. The co-owner of Awera Vineyards did not reveal why the business has shut down. However, he did promise that everyone is committed to helping people find alternate places for their celebrations. The tasting room is also closed right now, but wine production and distribution will continue. The new head coach of the Syracuse University football team has laid out his vision for leading the program into the future. Fran Brown said yesterday his focus is on bringing the Orange back to national prominence by actively recruiting. He also promised the school will win a championship during his tenure. Brown replaces Dino Babers, who was fired last month, but interim head coach Nuncio Campanile will lead SU in their bowl game against the University of Southern Florida on December 21st. The State Gaming Commission's Division of Lottery is making a request of Empire State residents this holiday season. The agency is asking folks not to purchase scratch-off lottery tickets for kids as gifts, saying that lottery games should only be gifted by adults to adults. The National Council on Problem Gambling says youth gambling is a public health issue. Anyone who is struggling with a gambling addiction can get help by calling 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Weeks after voters went to the polls, a winner has finally been declared in the battle for Onondaga County Clerk. An election official tells the Post-Standard that Democrat Emily Essie has defeated Republican incumbent Lisa Dell. According to the last count, Essie ended up getting almost 300 more votes than Dell did. The final result is going to be certified later this week. And an icon in the world of country music is going to be stopping in central New York next summer. Hank Williams Jr. will take the stage with all his rowdy friends at the Empower FCU Amphitheater in Syracuse on Saturday, August 24th. Williams has sold millions of albums and is best known for songs including All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight, The Blues Man, and Family Tradition.
My Name is Bocephus, one of my favorite Hank Williams Jr. songs. Do you notice, though, that concerts seem to go on sale so much earlier now?
I can't believe it. I mean,
this show is when?
This is in August.
This show is in August. You're going to buy the tickets now.
Yeah.
They go on sale this Friday.
Right.
You'll have these tickets, And by the time the show comes around, you'll forget you even purchased them.
No.
Right?
Well, I mean, one of the craziest ones I saw was we reported on Sebastian Maniscalco, who's a great comedian.
Yeah.
We're a big fan, and we're considering going to the show, but I wasn't going to buy the tickets for November. Of next year. So we'll probably wait until
they go on
even if we got to
sale
do the third party.
Earlier and earlier,
Yeah.
it seems. I used to remember if you bought tickets in March, maybe the show was in May.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, the way to do it is there's got to be some statistics behind it why they do it this way.
Yeah, maybe they'll figure. I think a lot of it. But that's the thing too. If they're trying to combat this, overpricing by third party resellers,
You're only
and stuff
opening
like
that door. I
You're
would think.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
So,
all right, interesting. Bo Cephas, Hank Williams Jr.
Yep.
All right.
WIBX 950 news time 7:06. Your weather forecast is, according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, cloudy and chilly. A couple snow flurries or snow showers around, a high of 35. Tonight, mostly cloudy, scattered light snow showers and flurries, a low of 25. And tomorrow, cloudy and cold. Once again, a few light snow showers and flurries, little, if any, accumulation, a high of 35. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint, WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Cloudy skies, 30 degrees. It is 7:07. From the IBEW Sports Desk, Evan McPherson drilled a game-winning 48-yard field goal late in overtime to propel the Cincinnati Bengals to a 34-31 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. On Monday Night Football at Everbank Stadium, we had it right here on WIBX. Cincinnati quarterback Jake Browning completed 32 of 37 for 354 and a touchdown in his second start of the season. The Bengals snapped a 3-game losing streak, remaining at the bottom of the AFC North at 6-6, but still in the wild card hunt, as many teams are at 6-6, including the Bills. Trevor Lawrence passed for 258 and 3 total touchdowns before leaving the game early due to an ankle injury. The Jags are at the top of the AFC South at 8-4, but are now just one game ahead of Indy and Houston. Both teams are on a hot streak, and now with Trevor Lawrence being injured, that could be a problem. Jets still looking for a solution at quarterback. Monday, head coach Robert Saleh declined to name a starting quarterback from Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, or Trevor Siemian for Sunday's game against the Houston Texans. Oh boy, I'd hate to be Robert Saleh. According to The Athletic, Wilson's reluctant to get back under center because of the injury risk. When asked about Wilson, Saleh insisted that was not the case, and if he was reluctant to play, quote, he wouldn't be here. Syracuse basketball will be back in action tonight. They're taking on Cornell after that tough loss to Virginia on Saturday. The Giants made some tweaks to their roster Monday. They've waived veteran quarterback Matt Barkley from the 53-man roster and released quarterback Jacob Eason from the practice squad. The move clears the way for the return of Tyrod Taylor, whose 21-day practice window was activated. They'll play the Packers on Monday Night Football. And what else do I have for you? I think that's it.
All right, I wanted to just a couple things. According to the betting odds, college football, who do you think is leading the way for a national championship?
Probably Alabama.
Alabama is plus 200. Michigan is leading the way at plus 185.
Really?
Followed by Texas at plus 260 and Washington at plus 700. The Heisman finalists named, and it does make you think about what this new coach for Syracuse is saying, that I'm going to bring Syracuse back to national prominence. Think about this. The 4 finalists for the 2023 Heisman Trophy have been announced. Jaden Daniels from LSU, Bo Nix of Oregon, Michael Penix Jr. of Washington. Is that how you say that?
I think so.
And Marvin Harrison Jr. of Ohio State. So where's the Syracuse tie-in? Marvin Harrison Sr. was a wide receiver for Syracuse back in the great days of the 90s.
Right. So obviously,
and that's
there's
his
a lot
son.
of...
And you'd think if Syracuse was as big as they were back then, his son might have been playing in Syracuse.
He might have considered it, but I think Fran Brown having that reputation for a school that was, they had 2 national championships. They were going to go for 3. I think it's an optimistic view that Syracuse fans should have or look through.
Well, you hope. And then if you're watching the Eagles game the other day, I have this for you, Nagel. Big Dom DeSandro.
Big Bad Dom.
He is the head of security. I didn't realize that's what his role was, but he's the head of security.
Should have never even have happened.
Well, head of security should be expecting a phone call from the NFL if it hasn't already come. During Sunday's game with the 49ers, DeSandro got into it with Niners linebacker Dre Greenlaw. Now, I don't think Big Dom did anything wrong. However, because DeSandro, or I'm sorry, the other guy, Greenlaw, kind of popped him almost.
No.
Just flicked under his nose, kind of.
But Big Dom had his hands on Greenlaw before
he was
that
pushing
happened.
him back.
Right.
Well, he's saying, I'm the head of security. I'm protecting people. I'm pushing him back. Now, this is what the NFL is saying, and I do agree with it. During Sunday's game, they got into it, and what is expected, according to an NFL insider, Mike Florio, both DeSandro and the Eagles should expect significant punishment from the league, and points out that team security officials are not in-game bouncers, and keeping the peace is the job of the officials.
Bingo.
And I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
Florio goes on to say that non-players who insinuate themselves into the game action risk losing access to the game area, and expect a big fine coming for Big Dom and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I think the only people that are really supporting Big Dom are the people who are Eagles fans.
They love him.
Because he's got such a big
He's a
good
hero
rep there.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I mean, it should have never got to that point. I mean, he was standing next to – I mean, that's the type of role where you're kind of preventing fans from jumping on the field.
Players are going to get into it. Players are going to get into it. It's going to happen. And if you have some outside source getting into it every time, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you'll see a state trooper come along with the coach, and see it a lot in college football, where the team from wherever brings
Wichita State.
They bring usually it's the South. They bring their state troopers up to protect them.
Yeah,
and they're always right by the side of the coach. But I've never seen them get involved like this. This was like, who's that player? Is that a coach?
Who is that guy? Yeah.
He clearly wasn't a player, but is he a coach?
Yeah.
No, he's head of security. What? So
he got thrown out.
Yeah. I guess I've never seen that ever happen before. So expect something there. Coming up, Dr. Kent Hall from Wynn Hospital making a major announcement this morning. And we'll speak with Doc coming up in a few minutes. Also, Utica Mayor-elect Mike Galimi. What is going on in Utica? What would be the biggest problem he will be facing in 2024? And it does seem like it's youth violence in Utica right now. And it's not just Utica. It's across the country, but it's a real, real problem. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's very complex. So we'll get into it with Mike. And also, Mike's free money question of the day. He was ripping on me yesterday.
Oh, was he?
Oh, he felt the questions that I asked were
you mean the 3 questions?
Were poor, and the fact that I did 3 of them, oh, boy. It was a long day for me with Mr. Hobaika. 7:15 now at WIBX.
As a leader in green building projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and is now a clean heat approved contractor for residential electric heat pumps. Save up to 40% off your natural gas or oil heating system monthly bill by upgrading to an electric heat pump. Now's a great time to replace that old furnace and boiler with New York State incentives and tax advantages. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey electric heat pump with various packages and options available. Potentia can also help design, supply, and install residential and commercial electric vehicle charging systems at your home or business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, they guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or potentiamanagement.com. That's potentiamanagement.com.
Wednesday, the final GOP debate of the year is on News Nation, America's fastest-growing cable news network. SiriusXM's Megyn Kelly, News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas, and the Washington Free Beacon's Eliana Johnson moderate a live primetime event from the University of Alabama as the candidates make their case to America on the only network for all America, the News Nation Republican primary debate. Live Wednesday, 8 Eastern. To find News Nation on your TV, go to joinnn.com.
Christmas, more than any other time, is for the gathering of families to celebrate the joy that the season brings, reflecting on the blessings of the past year. For many at the Rome Rescue Mission, there is no home, no family, and no joy. Children cannot experience the joy of Santa because no one can afford a gift for them. And to many, Christmas Day brings only more loneliness and misery. The good news is it doesn't have to be this way. With your generous donation of $20, you can provide Christmas for a child at the Rome Rescue Mission. A traditional Christmas meal, a visit from Santa, a toy, and celebrating the birth of baby Jesus can all be made possible with a donation of just $20. Please consider what you can do to pass along the joy of this season. Donate now at romemission.org. That's romemission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
28 years ago, Lori Potasowicz had a dream. With a natural love for pets, she wanted to become an expert groomer. So she set out to become the area's only nationally certified master groomer and launched her business, one paw at a time. With grooming expertise and a lot of loving care, Lori and her talented team began caring for pets one paw at a time. Cuts, shampoos, and styling, one paw at a time. Teeth and nails with no detail overlooked from head to toe, one paw at a time. Getting to know each and every dog and cat by name, the One Paw at a Time family grew, and Lori had a decision to make. Keep expanding? She followed her heart and decided to keep the One Paw family atmosphere just the way it is, so she can keep taking care of the pets she knows and loves, one paw at a time. Lori and her team want to thank the families they serve for putting their trust in them to care for their four-legged family members, one paw at a time. 320 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro near Woods Road. One Paw appreciates your understanding for their current waiting list for new customers.
The number one real estate agency, independent in the area, is River Hills Properties. And they're number two when it comes to the big chains. That's impressive, considering 15 years ago, no one knew their name. Bill and Robin Mangio wanted to create a real estate company that specialized in services, working hard for the client, trying to relieve the stress, to make it easier, to make the houses look more appealing, to put your best foot forward. They do all of that and so much more. Your listing agent works hard, and every time the house is shown, your listing agent is there. No lockbox. Your listing agent is there to make sure the lights are on, to make sure you're putting your best foot forward. They have offices in Barnaville, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. If in 2024 you're considering selling your home, maybe you're downsizing or maybe you're moving on up, if you're considering selling your home, think River Hills Properties. Call them today at 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Couple of other quickies here. I should tell you the official coffee of the radio program is from Daylight Donuts. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Quick and easy drive-through. Fresh donuts made there every day. Do you know they make their donuts there every day?
Based on having them before, it's pretty obvious.
You have those glazed donuts?
So
it's better
good.
than anything you've ever had. I'm telling you. I don't care what we're talking about. And, the most beautiful donut, box of them, whatever you want. The best lattes, hot or cold, caramel, mocha, pistachio, pumpkin, everything else, et cetera, et cetera. And holiday lattes chocolate peppermint candy cane, gingerbread cookie, s'more latte, and the almond joy latte. So good. Free Wi-Fi, Christmas gift cards, buy $20, get 5 free. And sign up. I was the first one to sign up for Christmas dinner, the snowflake rolls.
You got to get
Might
on
be
the list
the second
early.
or third sheet in there. I don't know. But I was the first
You were the
on
first
that
on
sheet.
that sheet. Yeah.
Yep. It's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Makes sense? I already have some calls here on for Dr. Hall, and he's on the line right now. Dr. Kent Hall from the Wynn Hospital on the line now. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good. Let's, if we can, I know that you have an announcement. We'll get to that maybe towards the end. But I have a few questions that are out there. And I think we asked this question last week.
Or something similar, yes.
Or something similar. But a caller asking, why does someone with a gunshot wound go to a hospital in Syracuse rather than the Wynn? And if I'm correct, this 14-year-old started at Wynn, but because of the location of the bullet, had to be moved to Syracuse. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So our capability for taking care of trauma is actually pretty significant, but we do not have the full capabilities of what's called a level 1 trauma center. So Upstate Medical Center in Syracuse is a level 1 trauma center. They have the full spectrum of trauma specialists, not only, from a primary surgical standpoint, but all of the support. So, if somebody needs a pediatric neurosurgeon or a highly specialized one, that is not something that we are capable of doing. We have level 3, where we are a level 3 or will be once we go through the redesignation, because the Wynn Hospital is new, that we will be a level 3 trauma center. Which has good capabilities to take care of the majority, I would say even the vast majority of trauma, but not the full capabilities to take care of all traumas. And honestly, when we were at St. E's, that was also true. So we would have transferred out a 14-year-old with a gunshot wound to upstate when we were at St. E's also.
So in this case, and I know you can't talk much about this, but the kid was conscious, but the placement of the bullet was really complicated things.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that go into it, but yes, one of the things is where is the bullet and what procedures need to be done, or what special monitoring. Sometimes you don't take bullets out, sometimes you leave them in, because taking them out is actually more dangerous, and then it's a matter of what type of special monitoring needs to be done, et cetera, et cetera.
I know this is a kind of an out there comparison, but I remember with that crocodile hunter, Steve Wynn.
Irwin.
Sorry, Steve Wynn. Steve Wynn, the crocodile hunter.
Oh.
I'm sorry about that, Doc. Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. Do you remember when they said that he had, because it was a stingray?
Yeah.
That a freak thing.
Ultimately
people,
got him. Yeah.
People swim with them all the time. And they said had they not pulled that out, he probably would have survived.
Yeah, so this is something that I would very much want people to hear and understand, is that if you have a penetrating injury and you've been impaled by something or something like that, we do not just pull those out, because it may very well be that where that is in a very large, let's say a very large blood vessel. And without taking somebody to the operating room and getting control of what may start bleeding when we do pull it out. If you just pull it out, then that's uncontrolled bleeding, and depending on the size of the blood vessel, people can bleed out in a matter of a couple minutes. So yeah, I have heard that also. I don't know all the specifics of exactly where that was, but my understanding is that he was fine until it was pulled out, and then he wasn't fine anymore. So
And for those, please forgive me. It is not the Steve Irwin Hospital. Sorry about that. Okay, and then one more time, somebody asking about all these. It seems just like there are sicknesses that are stubborn that are going on. Upper respiratory things.
RSV especially. It seems like
Stubborn.
that's to be the big one.
I'm assuming you're seeing that.
Yes, we are, and we've seen an uptick. We've seen an uptick in the number of patients admitted with COVID. Again, not huge. I think we're up to like 15 or 16 patients. We have had the first couple of patients that have had the flu that have been admitted, and we've had a couple of adult patients with the RSV or respiratory syncytial virus. RSV in adults can be something that hangs on for a long time and can really cause, especially in susceptible people with lung disease and things like that, very, very severe respiratory or breathing problems. And so it's really, it is important that people understand that these things are all circulating. And protection is very important. There are others that are also circulating and they have all different names that I won't go into. But the reality is that there are probably 12 or 15 different respiratory viruses that are all circulating. This is the time of year when they do that, so it's not uncommon. But again, with what we've been doing over the last couple of years with social distancing and stuff, and masking and just being very thoughtful, that this is the offshoot of that. I anticipate it's not going to be nearly as bad this year as it was last year. In fact, it isn't, because last year at this time we were talking about a triple-demic, and we're really not talking about that now.
Well, you said about 16 people with COVID. Are those people in the hospital for COVID?
Yes. So,
Okay.
Well, I would say the majority of them are. There are a few people that have come in for other problems, and during the course they've developed some symptoms that we tested for and ended up being COVID. But their primary reason for being in the hospital was not COVID. But that's I don't have an exact number, but I would say that is probably in the 10 to 15% range of the people that are here.
Speaking with Dr. Kent Hall from MVHS, the Wynn Hospital. Doc, I would say that this is the time of year where I just, obviously, if you have a close family member in the hospital, you got to go. I certainly understand that. But if you don't have to go, my guess is probably not a good idea, not just Wynn, but any hospital. It would probably be the time of year where I'd say if you don't have to go to the hospital, don't go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would say, I would say that's probably true any time of year, but yes. If your first line of defense is your primary care doctor, whoever you are using as your primary care doctor, to make sure that you're getting, all of your preventive care and things like that. But obviously if you are ill, then you need something, and if you're acutely ill, so if you're like sick today and you weren't sick yesterday, and it's really impacting your ability to function, whether it's, you're so tired that you can't get out of bed, or you're having a hard time breathing, or your GI system is so bad that you're getting dehydrated or something like that, then yes, it's very important that people do seek emergency department care, hospital level care when it's important. What I don't want to have happen is what we actually saw early in the pandemic, where people were actually avoiding health care. And what happened with that is that, people, let chronic illnesses became much more advanced. And so we ended up, taking care of people that had advanced heart disease, when the reality is that if they come in sooner, it would have been a much easier thing to take care of.
We have the Real Men Get Tested message out for the holiday season. And although we try to be somewhat humorous as we do our message, as we get the message out there, I do think that we spent a lot of time, COVID and thereafter, not getting in to get your testing done, your colonoscopies and what have you. And, boy, it just seems like it has affected people so much more post-COVID.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, and I really appreciate, the message that you and the group put out about, getting tested, and especially men. Men tend to be, I don't know, more resistant to it, or but the reality is that it is so important for everybody to be tested and tested, along the right time frame. Because catching things, like cancer, whether it's colon cancer or prostate cancer or whatever for men, is if you catch it early, then the chance of having an excellent outcome is much higher.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and then finally, I know that you have a large announcement to make today.
Yeah, so thank you for that. So, I have really enjoyed my time here, but as with all things, they come to a close, and I will be retiring from the Mohawk Valley Health System at the end of January. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for listening to me, and for all of the nice things that people have said. I really have, and I continue to enjoy being a part of this community, and and I hope that what I've been able to offer has been helpful. People have found them helpful.
So I'm incredibly sorry to hear that, because
yes, selfishly,
we're going to have
both
some real
us.
separation issues here. It's been since COVID that we had you on the air every day, and then we've reduced it to once a week. But yeah, I when you hear people talk about COVID around here, Doc, your name always comes up. That's really something special.
Yeah, early on, people thought that maybe it was because I brought COVID here, but I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
But again, I really appreciate people, listening to me, and I do hope that I've been helpful to the community in terms of understanding that disease and other diseases in general, and I just appreciate people listening. So.
Well, I would say, what year did you go to? What was your first year in college?
Oh, that was 1973.
And you finished med school in what year?
1981.
Wow! Just think about all the investment, both financial and just man hours that it takes to become a physician. It's really quite incredible.
Yeah, it's a journey, certainly, and it is not for the. I would say it's not for the faint of heart, but actually, it is for people who are dedicated to a cause. It is really, I have approached it my entire career as, this is a calling, and it's it's a privilege to be able to take care of people. I mean, in the emergency department, I ask people questions and do things to people that, in any other situation would be, can only be described as inappropriate. But people allow it because they know that it is to help them, and I really take that to heart, and it is it's been a calling for me.
Well, congratulations on all of that, and we'll take special note of the time that we have left with you, and appreciate it each and every week. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, everybody. And again, all I can say is what I always say, which is just please be safe.
All right, thank you. Dr. Ken Hall.
Doc, it's been a privilege.
From Wynn Hospital. Thank you. Retiring at the end of January. So our time is now limited with the doctor once a week. Do you remember back during COVID? I mean, it was unbelievable.
He was. He put in the extra work when he didn't have to.
I think
for his own knowledge, but to make sure that he was researching daily, hourly.
Remember, that was
all the medical journals.
Every single day we had him on.
Yep.
And I would come in every day with questions that people would have texted me or emailed me that they wanted asked, and there was always a line of phone calls waiting every time he came on, and we were learning all this stuff in real time. In month one, what you thought was true, 3 months later you found out wasn't necessarily true.
Right.
And everything changed. And he came back for like a punching bag every single day. And, his people were like, yeah, but you told us this 2 weeks ago or a month ago. But things changed as we were learning in real time. And he was able to kind of explain that to us. And I think that was just a huge part of a very difficult time for all of us. So Dr. Hall will be retiring. Wow. All right, let's do Hobeika's free money question of the day. I was told $100 today from Mr. Hobeika. And, Devin, what caller number are we going with here this morning?
Let's do caller number 7.
Seventh caller right now at 315-736-0186. If you're listening on the app or you're listening on YouTube, it's a bit delayed, right? That's why I'm stalling for you right now.
I like that.
Okay, I hear from people all the time saying, by the time I call in, it's like 45 seconds later and people have already got it. So we're looking for caller number 7 right now at 315-736-0186. We'll do that coming up next on WIBX.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. This holiday season, make your home shine with elegance from Adirondack Home Furniture. Wrap yourself in comfort and create warm holiday memories with family and friends on one of their beautiful sofas or sectionals handcrafted for togetherness. When it's time to eat, Adirondack Home Furniture's dining collection will be the centerpiece of your holiday feast. Celebrate a peaceful escape this year when you gift yourself an Adirondack Home Furniture bedroom transformation from the ordinary to a sanctuary of serenity and relaxation. Handcrafted perfection. Experience the magic of the season with Adirondack Home Furniture. Visit them today and let them help you create a home that's a reflection of your impeccable taste at Adirondack Home Furniture. Horatio Street in Utica at the former Riverside Mall. Browse their inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Happy holidays from Adirondack Home Furniture, where quality is not expensive, it's priceless.
Urgent Camp Lejeune settlement message. On September 6th, the government announced it will soon begin providing fast, guaranteed settlements to Camp Lejeune Marines, families, and civilians. Awards will range between $100,000 and $550,000, with an option for higher amounts. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and suffered cancers of the bladder, liver, or kidneys, leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Parkinson's, or kidney issues, you may qualify for compensation and could be paid within 60 days after accepting your settlement, with your VA benefits fully protected. You may be entitled to a significant financial award for your Camp Lejeune claim, but you must act now. Call the James Harris Law Camp Lejeune helpline now to get the compensation you deserve. We're already fighting for thousands harmed by the water at Camp Lejeune. Call now or you may forever lose your right to be awarded a settlement between $100,000 and $550,000. For your free evaluation, call 800-214-8822. That's 800-214-8822. 800-214-8822.
Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with a user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Oriskany Garage, a locally owned auto repair shop, is consistently selected best auto repair shop in the Utica area year after year. Google search Oriskany Garage to see what our customers are saying. Come and see us for friendly professional service. For all of your auto repair needs, brakes, tires, funny noises, warning lights, come experience friendly professional service at Oriskany Garage down the street from Utica University or online at ogtire.com. Come on and say it with me and make the noise. ogtire.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
7:40 on Tuesday morning. Holiday season, everywhere we turn, everything is Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. Well, Thursday, I believe, is the beginning of Hanukkah.
Yes.
I believe is on Thursday. And we'll deal with that just a little bit. Let's see. Mike says, if you're looking for a third host for the show, Dr. Hall is available. He also says Dr. Hall was a voice of reason in a very unreasonable world during that time. And he certainly was. Here's Jerry in East Herkimer. Hello, Jerry. Good morning.
Good morning.
You ready to go here?
I'm going to try.
Well, you're as ready as you're ever going to be. I think that's the way they say it.
Right.
All right. Well, you know the deal. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question, and it's worth $100 this morning. Hobica's free money question of the day from Joseph and Andrew Hobica, 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. And here is your question. Marvin Harrison Sr.'s college quarterback was Donovan McNabb. Who was his longtime QB in the NFL? Ready, go.
No idea.
So, let's see if Devin can get this. Do you know the answer off the top of your head, Devin?
I don't.
So, Harrison played for the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, Manning.
So it'd be Manning, yeah. Which one? Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. Yeah, so Peyton Manning. I thought that maybe that might be one of the quarterbacks you just come up with if you didn't know, but it is what it is. So, Jerry, we're going to give you the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card. This is a great gift card because it's not good at just one place. It's a $25 gift card good at Aquavino, Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, the Tailor and the Cook, concession stands at the Comets games, Pioneers games at the Odd, or the Nexus Center, and in the gift shop as well. So plenty of places, and you can add Cookies, Q, and Creamery to that as well. If you buy the gift card for the holidays, buy a $20 gift card, get $5 free. You get your $25. So we'll give you that. Jerry, Devin's going to hook you up. We'll mail it right to you, okay?
Thank you very much. Have a
All
good
right.
day.
Thank you. You too, Jerry. Thanks so much. McNabb, longtime quarterback in the NFL, was Peyton Manning. He had all sorts of records, Marvin Harrison at Syracuse. And I'll bet you that if Syracuse hadn't have plummeted, I'll bet his kid would have maybe gone to Syracuse.
Yeah.
And now he's up for I mean, he's probably not the top. He's probably not going to get it.
Right.
But he's one of
He's
four
in the running.
In the running for the big award.
Which I know that a lot of people were complaining, and I know Scott and Kirkfield may call in later about this, about the Florida State not being included in the college football playoff.
Mm-hmm.
But after listening to a few arguments and really thinking about it, I do think, even though I can't stand Alabama, I think that from the standpoint of, the committee trying to have the best possible 4 teams as far as competitiveness.
Vegas has them ranked second.
And, competitiveness and, the entertainment factor, I do think they got it right.
Okay. Mike Galimi is mayor-elect in the city of Utica right after New Year's, or I believe it's on New Year's Day. When is the inauguration, Mike?
Hello?
Yeah, when is inauguration?
Oh, you mean Mayor-elect Galimi? Yeah,
Yes.
how's it going?
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I will be, I'm planning that on the 1st of
On
January.
the 1st,
yeah.
usually on New Year's Day. So he's on the line right now, Utica Mayor-elect Mike Galimi. Good morning, Mike. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. I wanted to start by somebody's asking where you stand with, that was one of the big questions through the whole thing. Will you be a full-time mayor? Where you stand with your other job? And can you address that just a little bit?
Yeah. I will be a full-time mayor. I'm fully committed to being mayor, and that's where it stands. And that's how we're going to leave.
All right. So are you leaving? Do you leave your other job?
Right now, just like it was during the election, the company I work for and I are situating that right now.
Okay.
It's a publicly traded company, and we have to work that out. As I said during the debates, multiple times, I'll be a full-time mayor.
Okay, fair enough.
End of story.
End of story. All right.
I'll be in the office if you're looking for me.
Okay,
So-
fair enough.
And that office will be City Hall, right? So
That-
that's the answer.
Listen, I got to say that as you're coming into office, there are a lot of things I would think to worry about, and you hope that The previous mayor is going to be leaving you in a very good position where you don't have to come back with like a 20% tax increase right off the bat. Sometimes we do a good job of kicking the can down the road, and hopefully that's not the case. There'll be a lot of other issues, but I think the biggest one right now, staring you in the face, is youth violence in the city of Utica.
Absolutely. And this is something that I did address a lot during the debates, a lot during the campaign. Understandably, I'm still mayor-elect, so I'm looking forward to taking that office and starting to engage in all the different statements I made. If you want to talk about youth engagement from how organizations like On Point for college, how Study Buddy Club works, Young Scholars, how we actually work with the youth in our city so that they become more engaged and have a path towards understanding and respecting, education. That's one aspect. The other thing that I'm looking forward to doing, the superintendent reached out to me. I've had some conversations prior throughout the campaign with Dr. Davis about youth engagement. So, the family court, system has reached out. That's another, component. I want to bring all of this function together and actually have the difficult conversation that over the last couple decades, we've arrived at this problem. You can't just snap your fingers and fix it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a multifaceted approach. I'm committing to, I discussed how we will be creating internship programs for the Utica school system within City Hall, stronger internship programs. And as far as public safety goes, look, you can't just sorry, my daughter was beeping in on us, and I had to kill her. That's why I always like to come into the studio there, Bill.
I understand.
But
yes.
public safety, we have to, sorry, she's beeping in on me again.
All right, do you
I just dropped
listen?
her off at school.
If
I
it-
just
if
dropped
it-
her off at school. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay,
Sorry
if it's something important, we'll wait for you here. We're okay.
No,
I get
no.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna ring her back. I just dropped her off at school.
Yep.
I'm gonna call you right back.
Okay, fair
and
enough.
sorry about that.
All right, no worries.
You've got a mayor who's a dad now. So.
Listen.
Roll
you
of
gotta
dad
do,
comes
You
first.
got to do what you got to do. Go right now, okay? And call us back.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because I got to tell you, you cannot concentrate when that's happening. When your kid has, you're like, why?
Why
Now
are
they've
they
called
calling me?
twice.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting nervous, and I completely understand that. While he is gone, it is a big issue, and I don't think that there is any quick, easy solution to this. But it does need to be. It is a serious problem that needs to be addressed, not just from a school standpoint or a parental or a police. I think it needs to be an entire community trying to figure out how do we reach these kids, and boy, I do think it's important to reach them earlier than later.
Well, it's no coincidence. I had just mentioned to you, and it's funny, we were talking about this, and there's that whole thing about you mentioned something that shows up on your social media. Just kind of during the breaks and stuff, thumbing through X or Twitter or these other feeds, you're seeing videos of fights in high schools and violence in high schools. And Bill Maher does the show on HBO, Real Time with Bill Maher, and he did a special at the end of his show a few weeks back about that particular topic, that teachers more and more across the country are at risk going to work every day because there are kids that are violent towards the teachers.
And by the way, in New York State, the rules, the laws in New York
unreal.
are so difficult where, you can't do anything to these kids anymore.
No.
And, obviously you don't want to be violent with a kid, but at the same time, if a kid is beating up on a teacher, this is a real serious problem. All right, Mike is back. All is good, I'm assuming.
Yes, all is good. So, interestingly enough, it kind of has to do with what we're talking about, right? So I just dropped my daughter off at school, and she was calling me to say that Officer Reggie was saying hello.
Okay.
And if you can hear me right now, hello back. But that's part of, this whole process. We've got groups of kids coming up in Utica, young, from 4 years old to 12 years old. That's one group. Then we've got the kids from 12 to 18. And we have to actually commit to creating more youth engagement programs, connect the community with those youth engagement programs. Just yesterday I met with Kirsten Gillibrand's, office, and they said, "What's your number one priority?" I started with youth engagement, youth programs, bringing back the fact that we have to double down on our youth sports programs, enhance them, make sure we work with the school districts to get those kids in Pop Warner, get those kids in the Little League, get those kids in the soccer programs. There's community members running youth leagues in the inner city for soccer right now. There's so many people that are coming to the table to assist in engaging with youth to keep kids off the street right now. It is absolutely a pinnacle moment to bring everyone together and make this work. Because the reality is, right now it's been in the news a lot.
Right.
Earlier this year we had the shooting at Proctor. We've had a lot of youth violence on the street. We every day we're picking up, young teens with guns and taking guns off the street. It's a very public issue right now. People are waking up to it. This is something as council president I was focusing on for years now, and now as mayor, I am bringing together not only the people, but the actual other government officials that have to commit, the other organizations that have to commit to standing up youth programs in our inner city again. We have to do it.
I have Don saying we need youth centers, and sadly, Palmieri spent the money on a lot of other things like dog parks and all of these. What's your take on that?
Well, my take on it is we could have done more for youth centers, but there is money that was still earmarked for what should have been stood up as a cosmopolitan center on James Street. And I say cosmopolitan center because I was just talking to Cassandra, Lockwood from the, another radio station, but from the Heat, from the Phoenix last night about this. And we need to just commit to the fact that if we don't invest in our actual kids and stand up even a pilot youth program, let's say at 5:30 to 9 o'clock at St. Francis de Sales, for example, so we can actually commit to starting it and kickstarting it, it has to be consistent. It can't be a pop-up program, right? We need consistency for people to have a place for kids to go again. I had a place to go when I was a kid, okay?
Right. Well,
I went to the Boys and Girls Club.
If I can say this, Mike, one of the I think we just witnessed it here. One of the problems just moments ago, your daughter was calling in to reach you, and she called again, and you got off the phone in the middle of an interview to find out what was wrong. There are kids that do not have a parent to call,
right?
And that I think is one of the big problems that we're facing in Utica and most cities, larger cities across the country.
Well, and that's part of it. So I'm having a lot of these really difficult conversations with community members, with the family court, employees, with the new DA that's coming in. Okay, Todd Carville, with children, even kids in my neighborhood who are like, "Hey, Mr. Galimi, you're the mayor now. What are you going to do about this?" Yeah. And a lot of people say, "Where are the parents?" And, my mother was a teacher and then a principal who retired out of Utica School District. My wife, my sister, our teachers, my cousin's a principal right now. So I have a lot of family members within the school districts across, the county. And the reality is a lot of people say, where are the parents? Well, the answer is there isn't guardianship in some of these cases.
Right.
And if we don't recognize the actual issue, you're not going to bring back, quote, a family unit when people haven't had that family unit for a couple generations now. But then there's the flip side of it, Bill. There are families that are working 2 jobs.
Right.
And putting food on the table and reading books to their kids. But then once those kids are at that teenage years, those people are still working 2 jobs.
Sure.
They still want to do that, but their kids are getting older, and now they're on the street hanging out.
Yeah, there's no putting this into one little into one little compartment, right? It's not as simple as that.
So where do we start, right? I'm going to be a new mayor. That's what you're kind of asking me. I've already discussed the fact that I am already talking to all the individuals that I feel like I need to bring to the table to actually jumpstart and have a consistent youth engagement program in the inner city. I don't know where it could be located right now. Many people are proposing different sites to me right now, saying, why don't we do it here? Why don't we do that there? But it's a project that I'm looking at like a project that has an end goal. So we have to do that. End of story, right? The next thing is public safety. I do believe we need to bring back more of the support staff, which unfortunately is going to cost money, right, to the police departments, our local police departments, so we can have more police presence. It doesn't have to be antagonistic police presence, but we do need more actual street patrol, okay? It's just the reality of it. The school districts, we need to work more in concert with the school districts and youth programs that are already sponsored, like I said, like the youth sports, and keep kids engaged. It can't be after 2-3 months the program ends. So it's multifaceted, and I'm excited to take on this problem because it's a problem we have to solve as government officials. And I want to bring people together and take it to task.
It does need to be a community effort. It's not one. There's no one easy answer. And boy, but it is definitely. I'm so glad to hear that you're going to make this a priority because it is destroying the core of the community. I mean, this is not something that is normal. 14-year-old kids being shot up in the middle of the night. It's just not. It's not. It can't be the norm.
Well, you know what's terrible, Bill? My brother moved to Chicago shortly after we got out of college, and he's been in Chicago for over 15 years now, probably almost 20 years. And the reality is, for them, it is horribly normal.
Yeah, they've not fixed the problem.
I don't want to see it become normal here.
Right.
It shouldn't be.
I have somebody, Wayne, Dom Nicotera has free youth boxing clinic every week for kids. The old Reynolds hardware store, great program for kids, Mondays 4 till 5. And then Mike says, incredibly easy to have a kid, but very difficult to raise one. That is very true. And that's when everybody's in the household and everybody's working together. Imagine doing it as a single mom or whatever the dynamic is. But, we can talk paving streets and we can talk about all sorts of economic development, but at the end of the day, this is the biggest issue that seems to be facing us right now.
Bill, it's almost like you were a fly on the wall in the conversations I had yesterday. Because I was pinned down into what are your priorities for the next 4 years, and that was my answer. I said, you know what, we can concentrate on all that stuff, but if we don't double down on actually engaging, but giving opportunity and a guided path for our youth, we will have a problem that just keeps spiraling. But, I want to talk about a little bit more of the hurdles, though. We don't have to go on and on, but it's things people don't even think about. So why have we had trouble standing up these youth programs of late? Why did all the Boys and Girls Clubs go away, right? Sometimes it's legal. There's no one to sign a waiver because there is no guardian. Sometimes it's we have all the pieces in place, but no one will fund the insurance.
I hate to cut you off, but I'm coming up against the news. But you're right. There are a lot of different things out there that you're learning about now, I'm assuming. So let's keep this conversation going.
Pointing all these things out is because I'm working on it now. Because I'm putting together a plan to make it happen.
Good stuff, Mike. We appreciate it. And you seem to be on the right track.
Bill, thank you, and have a good morning.
Thank you. You do the same. Mayor-elect Mike Galimi, WIBX Utica Rome. It is 8 o'clock.
With water from the Mediterranean Sea.
They have reportedly placed 5 large pumps near the Shati camp in the northern part of Gaza, and they're waiting to see if they'll actually move forward with this plan. But it is significant to discuss because if they do this, it would destroy the tunnel network, but it also risks damaging significant infrastructure across Gaza and possibly damaging the fresh water that civilians use to drink there.
Fox's Trey Yanks near the border with Gaza, where Israel is intensifying attacks on Han Yunis, a community in the south, ordering civilians to evacuate. But some Palestinians say there's nowhere to go, and a UN official says the humanitarian situation is getting worse. A European Union commissioner is warning the war has led to a huge risk of a terrorist attack in Europe around Christmas. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky will talk to U.S. senators today in a classified briefing, urging them to approve more military aid after the White House warned already approved funding will run out this month, kneecapping Ukraine in the war against Russia. The Senate is considering a bundled aid package for Israel and Ukraine.
But Senate Republicans have said they won't agree to pass it unless there's substantial border policy changes. A source tells Fox News border negotiations have been moving in the wrong direction. Some Republican demands include raising the standards to claim asylum.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. It'll be down to just 4 candidates on stage tomorrow for the 4th Republican presidential debate. And once again, the front-runner, former President Trump, will be a no-show, leaving Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley to spar over who's the best alternative. Florida's governor tells Fox.
I have more similarities on policy with Donald Trump than I do on Nikki Haley.
Now, Haley says she'll lead a new generation of conservatives. Chris Christie, Vivek Ramaswamy will also be on stage tonight. There will be a Trump town hall from Iowa on Fox News Channel, 9 p.m. Eastern. America's listening to Fox News.
All right, Christmas will be here before we know it. If you're looking for a really special gift, I encourage you to check out the firearms made right here in America by our great friends at Henry Repeating Arms. Now, you start by going to their website, henryusa.com, order their free holiday gift guide, and they'll mail it with free decals that you can use for stocking stuffers. Perfect timing. Folks, when you give someone a Henry, you're giving them a work of art that is built with the finest craftsmanship I've ever seen as a collector. Now, their performance is top-notch. Mine were accurate, all of them, right out of the box. They shoot smooth and straight, and they have been reliable ever since. They have over 200 models of rifles and shotguns and revolvers to choose from. One of the things I like the most about these firearms, they're family heirlooms. They'll always be backed by the company's lifetime warranty. So if you want to put something that's made in America under the tree this Christmas, henryusa.com. Get their free gift guide and their decals today. That's henryusa.com. You will love this company.
Good morning. WIBX 950 News Time, 8:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. 31 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Couples are now scrambling after a wedding venue in Cazenovia announced the cancellation of all 2024 events. The co-owner of Aware Vineyards did not reveal why the business has shut down. However, he did promise that everyone is committed to helping people find alternative places for their celebrations. The tasting room is also closed right now, but wine production and distribution will continue. The new head coach of the Syracuse University football team has laid out his vision for leading the program into the future. Fran Brown said yesterday his focus is on bringing the Orange back to national prominence by actively recruiting. He also promised the school will win a championship during his tenure. Brown replaces Dino Babers, who was fired last month, but interim head coach Nunzio Campanile will lead SU in their bowl game against the University of Southern Florida on December 21st. The State Gaming Commission's Division of Lottery is making a request of Empire State residents this holiday season. The agency is asking folks not to purchase scratch-off lottery tickets for kids as gifts, saying that lottery games should only be gifted by adults to adults. The National Council on Problem Gambling says youth gambling is a public health crisis. Anyone who is struggling with a gambling addiction can help by calling 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Weeks after voters went to the polls, a winner has finally been declared in the battle for Onondaga County Clerk. An election official tells the Post-Standard Democrat Emily Essie has defeated Republican incumbent Lisa Dell. According to the last count, Essie ended up getting almost 300 votes more than Dell did. The final result is going to be certified later this week. And an icon in the world of country music is going to be stopping in central New York next summer. Hank Williams Jr. will take the stage at the Empower Federal Credit Union Lakeview Amphitheater in Syracuse Saturday, August 24th. Williams has sold millions of albums and is best known for songs including All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight, The Blues Man, and Family Tradition. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. through Live Nation. WIBX 950 News Time, 8:06. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, cloudy and chilly, a couple snow flurries or snow showers around, a high of 35. Tonight, mostly cloudy, scattered light snow showers and flurries, a low of 25. And tomorrow, cloudy and cold. Once again, a few light snow showers and flurries, little, if any, accumulation, a high of 35. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
31 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. It is 8:06. From the IBEW 43 local sports desk, it was Monday night football. Getting ahead of myself here. Monday Night Football right here on WIBX saw Evan McPherson drill a game-winning 48-yard field goal late in overtime to propel the Cincinnati Bengals to a 34-31 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars now 8-4 atop the AFC South, but are a little nervous as Indy and Houston are nipping at their heels, and Trevor Lawrence went down late in the fourth with an ankle injury. No details on the extent of it. The Bengals now move to 6-6 and are still in competition for one of those AFC wildcard spots. The Jets are still looking for a solution at quarterback. On Monday, head coach Robert Saleh declined to name a starting quarterback from Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, or Trevor Siemian. When asked about Wilson, Saleh insisted that it was not the case that he was reluctant to play, despite a report from The Athletic. Saleh says if he didn't want to play or was reluctant to, he, quote, wouldn't be here. All three players have seen the field in recent weeks in the aftermath of Aaron Rodgers' injury. New York is currently AFC's third-place team at 4-8. The Syracuse basketball team will hit the hardwood again for tonight, playing Cornell. And here's a crazy story for you, Bill. A rare Babe Ruth baseball card has a new owner, a 1914 Baltimore News rookie card featuring the great Bambino, fetched. Are you ready for this?
Can I guess?
You can guess.
$2.5 million, Bob.
It's actually 7.2.
Wow.
$7.2 million.
Well, I didn't go over.
That's right. The 7.2 came in an online auction that ended Sunday. The closing price makes the card the most expensive Babe Ruth item sold in history. It's also the third highest price ever paid for a sports card. The most expensive card ever remains the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle card that sold for $12.6 million last year.
So this, you would think that the Babe Ruth card would go for more than the Mickey Mantle card.
Yeah.
But it's all about who wants what and
at the right time.
At the right time and all of that. Okay, very interesting. Anything else you have there, Andrew Derminio?
That's it. I think we talked about Cuse basketball, and hopefully they'll get a win tonight.
That's tonight. Comets are home this weekend. Pioneers, they're off until after the first of the year.
Well, they got to have that holiday break, probably.
Kids are right. Kids are probably getting ready to head on out. I want to, if we can, we are auctioning off two items that will go to Toys for Tots, the Marine Corps, the Marine Corps Toys for Tots, and these two items, one from the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, the tractor, which comes from Clinton Tractor. Would you mind, Andrew, getting out of the way?
Sure.
Okay, there it is, right there. If you're watching on YouTube, you see on the top, that is the Utica Mac. The bid right now on that is at $500. Joe Habaika has the leading bid on that one.
Although you might lose that with all the money you're giving away.
And then he is not asked to lower his bid, and that's on top. And on the bottom there, you see the Clinton tractor. That's coming from the United County Sheriff's Office, and from Clinton Tractor. Dana Olney is the leading bidder on that at $425. If you'd like to bid on either one of these and raise the bidding, it goes to a wonderful cause, and you can do so by calling us right now at 315-736-0186. A special thank you. You can make your way back in, Andrew. A special thank you to Utica Mac. Thank you. And the United County Sheriff's Department. Thank you. And Andrew for moving in and out as need be on the shot. Mike on the Mickey Mantle card. Michael, good morning.
Yes. How you doing?
Good.
So you know why that card is that that's not even his rookie. You know that,
right? Yeah. Well, what was the that card recently went for that amount of money, right?
Last year, and it's not even his rookie. And the reason why that is valued so much because that was also the first Topps card, the first Topps Mickey Mantle.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Are you a collector of cards?
Well, I did collect baseball cards for a while, but then it became hard because there's so many. I think
know.
The most valuable one I have is Nolan Ryan rookie.
As a Met, that's really cool. Yeah. So, but you're right. And then what happened in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s, is they just flooded the market. There were just so many cards out there. It was just there was no value. So
and that's the year I graduated. For a while, my father actually had this store, and basically I actually have a box of the 1990 Donruss. It's unopened. I just have a box of like unopened cards. Even know what's in it, but yeah, I have that.
Yep, there's a lot of that out there. So, okay, good stuff there, Mike. Thanks, man.
You're welcome. You take care.
You have a great day.
I know
Mike
somebody
in Schuyler.
I won't mention their name, but I know somebody who has actually, I believe, 2 of the Derek Jeter rookie cards that went for a lot of money, and they're just sitting.
He
on
or
them.
she has 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're just sitting on them. It's based on so people people that know him have said you've got to at least sell one of them,
right,
whatever one's in
make some money off one of them.
The not the best condition one.
Well, and now you got Jeter's in the Hall of Fame, so
it's only going to grow in value.
Let me tell you something. You say that? That's what they said about O.J. Simpson's card. So I'm just saying.
I don't think Jeter's
I hope
going
Derek Jeter doesn't go out and do something stupid because that card will be worth nothing.
I hope not.
You can't pay somebody to get an O.J. Simpson card anymore. Sometimes, well, it's always. Timing is everything. I would sell right now. Scott in Kirkville. Good morning, Scott.
Morning. Hey, listen, thanks for the publicity. This Colonial Laundromat comedy tour is just taken off.
Beautiful.
We're comedy tour, the Big Sudsy, and it's just standing room only. Of course, around the folding tables, but it's still standing room only.
Because there are no chairs.
The Big Sudsy's there.
Yeah.
It's just it's we're teaching them how to bleach. Bleach can be your friend. And for men, extra starch in the shorts might be the new Viagra. So
okay.
We're just trying to.
All right, I love it.
Sorry.
Yep.
So, all right.
Good.
What do you have there, Scott? I know you wanted to talk about.
It's I don't know, from the national sports scene, but it does affect Syracuse since they're in the ACC, and Florida State wants out anyway, and this might even be a reason to get out of there. The ACC, if anybody follows football at all, they have this. NCAA's got the Final Four. And they start voting about halfway through the season, and they have a special half-hour presentation. So for the whole year, Florida State, who's undefeated, has been in the top 4. Now, they lost their quarterback about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
but they knew the quarterback wasn't coming back, but we're still ranked 4th in the country. So they go in undefeated, play their championship game, kind of ugly, but they had to use a third-string quarterback, win it, and somehow, some way, Texas, who's ranked 7th, and of course the big Alabama, they're kind of like the 800-pound elephant in the room. They jumped both Florida State, and the thing is, mathematically, if I'm fourth and you're seventh and I both win, why you jumping?
Correct, right.
And they say, well, it's because the quarterback got hurt. Well, you know what? He got hurt 2 weeks ago. So why didn't you drop him then?
Right.
And it's just
So,
amazing how.
It's unbelievable how unfair that really is.
Yeah.
Scott, I hate to disagree with you because you are a bastion of knowledge, but do you honestly think if Florida State were to play Texas or Alabama, they would win?
Who knows? I mean, you go back years ago. Ohio State's playing the Miami Hurricanes in Fiesta Bowl for the championship, and I think Miami's like a 12, 15-point favorite over Ohio State, and they won.
Yeah, anything can happen.
I mean, anything can happen, but I mean...
My problem is Alabama can win ugly, okay? If you go back just a week before that, I don't know if you caught the miracle on 34th Street where Alabama's got to overcome the last play of the game, a 4th and goal from the 31. Now, if Auburn has any type of defensive coordinator, they're not getting 31 yards on the last play of the game. But they did. But to me, if Alabama can win that way against a team that just got railroaded by New Mexico State the week before, why can't Florida State win ugly?
I think it's also
Michigan in Iowa championship game. They played Iowa, who can't score the Cougars singles dance, and they had to struggle to beat them. So everybody else can struggle, but actually Florida State can't.
I just think, Scott, you got to look at strength of schedule, and I think that Florida State team almost lost to a very bad Louisville team. And
whoa. Bad Louisville team that ranked 15th in the country.
I know, but it doesn't change the fact that
bad Louisville team.
I don't think they're Georgia, what Alabama beat, and I don't think that
I got to say that I'm with it is unheard of that in any playoff setting, if the NCAA wants this to be a real playoff, then you gotta follow some normal rules. And guess what? If a team has injury problems but they find a way to win, a win is a win. And to me, I'm with Scott on this. I think
they want to have. They
Florida
don't want to
State got
repeat.
Screwed.
They don't want to repeat. And again, to an extent, I will say that. But they're looking at it from a business decision.
What's kind of funny is they put Alabama in there or whoever they put in, and they may get a crappy game. There's no guarantee that's going to be a great game. How many times do you hear when people go, this game, you've got the Chiefs and who they play the
Green Bay,
and Green Bay. This is going to be tight right to the very end. And was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Well, but here's the deal, guys. Like I said before, the quarterback did not get hurt in the championship game. He got hurt 3 weeks ago. Then why do you still rank him fourth with
I
a
agree with you.
quarterback and Texas seventh? What did Texas do in the championship game that will actually make you jump 4 spots? Nothing.
All right.
So if you're fourth 2 weeks ago, then why aren't you fourth at the end?
I agree.
The only undefeated team in Power 5 not to make the playoffs, too, by the way.
Scott, I agree with you on this one and not with Andrew. Sorry, Andrew. Okay.
And Scott, I usually agree with you, but I don't.
If you still got your Mr. Microphone, we can go and we can do what? We can Elvis the Pelvis and the Big Sudsy.
All right, listen to me. Greeley Ford this morning saying if Scott from Kirkville can call in, he can get a phone that can stream the show. And that should be your goal over the next 30 days to be able to, so you can actually listen to us as opposed to
be great.
not be able to.
Actually, I was canceled at a Chinese restaurant because they got closed down because of hepatitis. Chinese restaurant's name was the Itchy Bottom.
Okay.
So
anyway,
I was
listen to me.
Listen
to me. You could get a phone for free that could stream this program. I'm telling you. All right.
Well,
I'm letting you go.
I'm waiting for the FM signal. I think that's the greatest idea.
We'll see what happens. There's a new one coming.
All right, guys. Have a nice, good days. And Andrew, we can agree and disagree and still have an adult beverage later on.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, Scott. Thanks. Have a great day. Quick break and come right back. We're going to talk to Tim Julian on the St. E's issue and the reuse master plan. This committee, it does seem like we're really specializing in committees that don't listen to what the general public is talking about. We'll talk to Tim about that coming right up. 8:19 at WIBX.
As a leader in green building projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and is now a clean heat approved contractor for residential electric heat pumps. Save up to 40% off your natural gas or oil heating system monthly bill by upgrading to an electric heat pump. Now's a great time to replace that old furnace and boiler with New York State incentives and tax advantages. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey electric heat pump with various packages and options available. Potentia can also help design, supply, and install residential and commercial electric vehicle charging systems at your home or business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, they guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or potentiamanagement.com. That's potentiamanagement.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. This holiday season, make your home shine with elegance from Adirondack Home Furniture. Wrap yourself in comfort and create warm holiday memories with family and friends on one of their beautiful sofas or sectionals handcrafted for togetherness. When it's time to eat, Adirondack Home Furniture's dining collection will be the centerpiece of your holiday feast. Celebrate a peaceful escape this year when you gift yourself an Adirondack Home Furniture bedroom transformation from the ordinary to a sanctuary of serenity and relaxation. Handcrafted perfection. Experience the magic of the season with Adirondack Home Furniture. Visit them today and let them help you create a home that's a reflection of your impeccable taste at Adirondack Home Furniture. Horatio Street in Utica at the former Riverside Mall. Browse their inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Happy holidays from Adirondack Home Furniture, where quality is not expensive, it's priceless.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractors, we are pleased to partner with Syracuse University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Syracuse University's partnership with the IBEW will provide talented students the opportunity to advance their careers while shaping the future of the electrical trades and the industries they serve.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-775-5622. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-775-5622. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-775-5622. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Hey, I want to tell you that you should be making sure, like the rest of us, that you're ready to go for the winter season with your heating in your home. And Fred F. Collis & Sons Heating, Cooling, and Insulation would love to assist. They're ready to help you make sure that your home is energy efficient and that you are saving all the money you can save. A good way to have top of mind this winter when it comes to comfort in your home is proper insulation. Collis excels in installing insulation, and they can assist you. You can get a free home energy assessment from Collis to pinpoint energy loss, comfort issues, and address safety concerns. We had this done in our home, and it actually saved us money. Many will even qualify for free energy efficiency upgrades during the assessment, and that could include everything from money to LED light bulbs, weather stripping, programmable thermostats, and more. In fact, thanks to New York State incentives, many customers qualify for low to no-cost insulation and heat pump installation. Call the friendly folks at Collis to identify your eligibility. And right now, you can get even more. National Grid customers can get $500 per outdoor condenser unit on Collis heat pump installations. That's $500 per, and the offer expires at the end of this month. So you'll need to take advantage of it now. The people at Collis are ready to help. Call them at 315-768-2323. Or you can always count on Collis online 24/7 at fredfcollis.com. Fred F. Collis & Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
You know, I was complaining a little bit earlier this morning about the holidays, and everything is just everywhere you turn, every story, every news story, except for the OD. They're still doing Labor Day stories. But everywhere else, it's all Christmas. And it's just too much.
Yeah.
We're 20 days away, for God's sakes.
Don't rush it.
It's just too much.
Haven't even started shopping yet.
Too much. Now, there are radio stations that play Christmas music 24/7 now, and that's apparently a big deal. But there has been a victim in the Christmas music 24/7 concept.
Yeah.
There has been, there's always cause and effect, right?
Yes.
There is a victim out there, and it was one of these things where this morning I woke up and just said, I'm pretty sure it didn't used to be that way. So I've done my research, and I'm here to tell you it didn't used to be this way, and it's destructive as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
And I'll explain coming up in a second. It'll be worth getting into, especially if you ever listen to music or buy music or whatever.
I'm intrigued.
On the line right now is the county legislator, Tim Julian, and Tim is in the West Utica area, where South Utica, I should say, where the reuse and whatever, the repurposing of St. E's is a big topic right now, and is going to be even bigger as we go into 2024. Tim, on the line right now, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So,
I think we've talked since the election, have we?
I guess we haven't.
I don't think so.
It has been a little while.
Been a little while. Nice.
Any other plugs you want to do for your whooping of a possible opponent? Anything you want to add?
No, we're good.
You're all whooped out.
Results.
Yeah.
Results were good. We were very, very humbled and appreciative of the people of the district who felt as though I was the better person for the job.
Right.
So
there we go. Okay, so Tim, let's talk about the are the I feel like there's some out of touch consulting going on still with this reuse plan, and
yeah. I mean, overall, what occurred was I got a call from the mayor's office, Mayor Palmieri's office, stating that there was going to be, the consultants that had been hired by the city and by MBHS had come together and they came up with this grand plan. And there was supposed to be actually a series of plans that, kind of say, oh, geez, we like this one, we like this one, we like this part of this one, what have you. And so we went to this pre-meeting. There was a meeting scheduled for the 16th of November at the Parkway Rec Center at night for the general public to show up, and show up they did, and good on them for doing that and being But prior to that, there was a meeting that was just amongst elected officials, other folks, and so I was invited to that. I went along with County Executive Picenti, and we sat around the tables in the council chambers and heard this plan that really took nothing into account. There was I don't think there was any part of the plan that was presented to us that was something that any of those neighbors throughout that area and pretty much anybody in the city of Utica would look at and say, oh yeah, that's what we wanted.
Right.
And what it was these consultants who did this, none of which were from the city of Utica, basically looked at this as what's the profit optimization if you were a developer, and how do we make this work? So they're looking at it as strictly a developer-centered project, and not, could there be some public-private partnership, which I think is the very least that should be done on this would be something like that. But they've got about halfway through their presentation, and the county executive asked a question. And then, I started to ask a few questions, and then Mayor Palmieri stepped up, and he said, he goes, this isn't what we were asking for. We were asking for a different sort of plan. And then Councilman-elect LaMedico said, well, I don't understand. You have this committee that you've put together, but the legislator for the district who's been involved and the newly elected council person for the district who will be involved isn't on this committee. And that's when Palmieri said, I'll put this committee together, and, we'll make this happen. And by the time we got to the meeting at the rec center later that night, he came to us and spoke and said, okay, I'm going to be putting this together, and it'll be yourself, and you can, have another representative who could be like a person from that area that lives over there. Or someone who lives in South, or whoever you want to choose, but a representative for that particular area. But at the meeting, there were some things that were interesting. At the initial meeting, they valued the demolition cost of St. Elizabeth's Hospital at $4 million. By the time we got to the meeting, it somehow escalated to $20 million. I guess Bidenomics or something. I'm not quite sure what that would be, but that was an interesting take that I did take away from it. The screen, while they were showing, there's just some things that are logistically. Here you have these hugely, supposedly professional consultants, and they had a screen in the front of the rec center that was about the size of a postage stamp that they were showing this plan on. And on top of that, you had a microphone that acoustically speaking inside the rec center, very, very difficult to hear and understand this person. Some people actually, raised their hand and said, "We can't hear you, can't understand you." And, so then there was these parts of this plan that were throughout the, storyboards, I guess, throughout the sides of the facility that people could go around and say what they would like to see on that, which I thought was a little bit disingenuous because, they were having to choose of, it's like saying, what do you want for breakfast? A bowl of dog poop or, a bowl of cat poop, it's like, there's no good choices here, So this is what we would prefer to have. So, I have said, and, I had a conversation with Bob Schofield came and goes, well, what do you think? I said, I don't like it. He says, well, you don't like anything. I said, I don't like something like this. I'll tell you that because this, we had no real input at all from the neighbors. We had no real input at all from the people elected to, participate with those neighbors. It was basically just, oh, well, look, a developer is going to want a 20-year pilot, which means no taxes for us. A developer is going to want to have some sort of a, market rate housing. A developer is going to want to shoehorn 300 apartments into the old St. Elizabeth's building.
Right.
A developer is going to want to keep the parking garage. And these were all things that were all non-starters for the neighborhood throughout that area. And to look at this and say this is an opportunity to do something that hasn't been done in the city of Utica in many, many, many years, and now we're going to turn around and say, well, here, take this, because this is all we can offer you, I think is extremely disingenuous. I think it's extremely, wrong. It's completely flies in the face of everything that was sold to those neighbors and the people of the city of Utica when this whole thing was going on. And as to that, I have heard people who've contacted me, and, they're the same group that's the No Hospital Downtown group and members of that group who've come to me and said, Timmy, listen, they said they'd never put a dime of taxpayer money into this facility. And I said, I don't care, because right now we need to put taxpayer money there.
No doubt about it.
That site.
Yep.
We're going to secure that site, and we're going to drive that process, which we need to do. And as such, my thought process is that we need to level the building. And there are some who will say, but it's a historic building. That building is not a really good-looking building. That is it's a square box.
Yeah, it's not architecturally sophisticated.
Yeah,
no,
you're not
no.
talking about.
If you want to look at that and compare it to the Obelston, the Obelston is actually a architecturally interesting.
Yes, it is.
This is not.
Yeah.
This is not.
Well, Tim, I think too, and I think you're onto something with the demolition. I don't think 20 million is the number, but I definitely don't think it's 4 either. I've talked to a few people, and it may be with all the environmental stuff that you have, because it's not just taking it down; it's properly disposing. I think that's probably going to be closer to 10 million to demo.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think that was the number we've been throwing about quite a bit. I don't think it's 20.
No.
But I think that, theoretically the hospital has said, we actually met on Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, in 2019. And they said, we're going to have a cost of demolition within a week. And I'm still waiting for that week.
It's the longest week ever.
Well, and
the longest week ever.
I have to say,
COVID.
If government doesn't lead with on this, you're going to get whatever you get. And I think you're absolutely correct here that this has to be a strategic plan for. This is not something that's going to be around just for a few years. This is going to be the future of South Utica. And
sure.
I think
and to that point, Bill, and not to interrupt you, but to that point, realize this is that if we do this correctly, that will generate property tax forever.
Right.
And this is something we don't generate right now, but it's on that site. But we could generate that property tax. If we generate that property tax, the city of Utica, Oneida County, whatever municipality takes the lead, will be able to get those property taxes from now until forever.
Right.
And forever is a mighty long time, and that gives us our payback. A developer has to walk off that site with the job finished and money in their pocket. We don't have to do that. That's the good part about us taking the lead on this and making this happen.
Yep.
Whether we have to bond for $10 million or $12 million or whatever we have to bond for to make this happen, we can make this a real win for that area.
Have you had any
city of Utica.
Have you had any conversation with Mike Galimi?
I have had brief conversations with Mike Galimi, yes. I know he's working on a lot of other things at this time, getting himself ready to be immersed into the job come January 1st. And, as such, he certainly, this is going to be one of those things that's on his priority list.
Yep. All right. Interesting stuff. Let's get you in studio soon, Tim. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thank you as much as always. And if I don't see you before Christmas, have a great Christmas.
Well, we'll definitely, hopefully, see you on the
Christmas show.
Oh, yes. That's
whatever
right.
day
that's
that
the
is.
Christmas
23rd.
show. That's right.
Can't miss that. Can't miss that. It's a big deal. Yeah.
22nd, maybe.
No, you're right.
All right. Good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a great day, Tim Julian.
Yeah, and another thing about the pilot programs, there are some benefits to that, and they were given away a lot during Palmieri's tenure. But one of the problems with that is, and I recognize this in something I was involved with, is that once that pilot runs out, the tax assessment puts those taxes at an astronomical level where it's almost unmarketable after a certain point. So that's kind of the ebbs and flows. You get 10 years or 20 years of tax relief, but then whatever property owner subsequently has that property at the end of that pilot program, they're going to get hammered because you're making up for the 10 years or 20 years of not having that tax revenue. So that's another thing too that's tough with those pilot programs. It helps to bring people in and helps to bring industry in, but then they pay for it ultimately in the end.
All right, we'll keep an eye on this one because I think this is a big deal, and it's going to be a big story for 2024. Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with Seize the Deal. Oh, I've never seen it written like that without any spaces, but I see what they're doing here. It's a website address, seizethedeal.com. I'm trying to figure that out. Like, seizethedeal.com. What the hell is that? seizethedeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to Pins in New Hartford this Thursday morning starting at 8 a.m. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. Pins is a great time anytime for bowling, axe throwing. They do axe throwing over there?
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
I did that over the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Arcade games, food, drinks, and fun. Plan a night out now at their new location. Or their location in Sangertown Square in New Hartford. Get daily specials, book a party, and more at pinsbowl.com. And get your half-off Thursday gift certificates from Pins in New Hartford. Hurry, they sell out fast at seizethedeal.com. And you can check that out. Coming up, what has playing music 24/7, Christmas music 24/7 done? I think we have 2 radio stations, plus Sirius and others, that are playing all Christmas music right now.
All the time.
And what has this done to the music industry that we used to know. I think you'll be shocked at the numbers I'm going to throw at you here. It's coming up. 8:39 at WIBX.
Go green and save green right now at City Suburban. There has never been a better way to heat and cool your home than with a new Mitsubishi electric heat pump system from City Suburban. They provide energy-efficient comfort year-round, are whisper quiet, 40% more efficient than conventional systems, and offer room-by-room temperature control. And the best part is right now you can save up to $9,000 in rebates with the New York State Clean Heat Program while funds are available. Go green and make the switch today. And as always, receive City Suburban's POMG. That's peace of mind guarantee.
This is Chris from City Suburban on Route 233 in Westmoreland. There has never been a better time to upgrade your system than right now. You can save up to $9,000 with New York State Clean Heat rebates and make your home more comfortable and efficient for years to come. Call us today at 853-3899. That's 853-3899. Or visit us at citysuburban.com.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
Are you thinking about a new job? Warner Sales and Service is looking for a mechanic, someone with mechanical abilities interested in working on small engines, new equipment setup, and some basic diesel and hydraulic repairs. You'd be working on the complete line of Bobcat construction equipment and Hustler turf equipment. 1 to 2 years experience or training in engine mechanics is required. Applicants need to have strong diagnostic abilities. Qualified candidates should also be able to follow troubleshooting procedure and service manual instructions. Does this sound like you? Visit the Warner offices for an application. They're just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona. Online at warnerss.com. That's warnerss.com.
Warner's, where quality still counts. At Warner's.
Looking for the perfect gift for the theater and music lover on your list? Give the gift of world-class opera and musical theater with a Glimmerglass Festival gift card. The 2024 Glimmerglass Festival includes productions of The Pirates of Penzance, Pagliacci, La Callisto, and Elizabeth Cree. And with a Glimmerglass Festival gift card, they can pick the shows of their choice. Gift cards available online at glimmerglass.org or by calling the box office. Tickets for individual shows on sale January 22nd. Give music and magic with a Glimmerglass gift card. Happy holidays from the Glimmerglass Festival.
When you don't have enough to eat, all you think about is food. That makes it hard to give your best.
Nearly impossible to feel your best.
And it makes tough decisions even tougher.
At Food Bank of Central New York, all we think about is food too, and how to get it to the people who need it most. Think you can help? Give today at foodbankcny.org.
Need new tires for winter? Then visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair today. Now through December 14th, save up to $70 instantly when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone, Blizzak, or Firestone Winter Force tires. Save up to $100 instantly when you use your CFNA credit card. Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair located in South Utica, Yorkville, Rome, Herkimer, and downtown Utica. And online at tolmanstire.com. Offer valid November 15th to December 14th, 2023. Cannot be combined with other offers. See store for details, subject to credit approval.
Why get an updated COVID vaccine? If you're 65 or older, a COVID vaccine can keep you out of the hospital. And if you have heart disease, a COVID vaccine can help you stay healthy. With COPD or other lung diseases, getting a COVID vaccine can keep you off a ventilator. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But some people are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Paid actor portrayal.
I didn't see it coming. Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. The mortgage, car payments, and all the other bills. Even things like our annual summer vacation would be out of reach. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. I knew it was time to stop putting it off and get life insurance right now. I got on my computer and went to ethoslife.com. In just 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected. Thanks to Ethos, my family won't have to worry about the bills if the unpredictable happens to me.
Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GETETHOS.com.
I want to tell you about Steve Ponte Mazda and Ricky Z, creating the ultimate customer experience, continuing to be their number one goal. And boy, do they do it over there. They do a tremendous job. I have personal experience because I'm on my second Mazda from there. And years ago, can I tell you, I bought one of my first new cars ever from Ricky Z.
Yeah.
Going way back to 1992, maybe.
Was
93.
it the
Honda Prelude?
Prelude, yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Maybe it was 95, 94, 95, 93. I think it was a 1993 Honda Prelude. Yeah. Well, that really stinks because I'm doing a Steve Mazda commercial. Sorry about that. But listen, it's all in the family, right? The fact is, Ricky Z is in the family, and I now love my Mazda, my CX-90. Love it. The Inspiration Sales Event is going on right now. They select the best late model Mazdas for their Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles, offering a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And if you need a lower price or payment, let's make your deal on a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle. From Ricky Z and from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in treating people like humans. Customer satisfaction. That's how they do it at Steve Ponte Mazda. It's the Steve Ponte way, I should say. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Da 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 da. Hey, 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 hey. Woo, 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 woo. Now we're gonna get hit from YouTube because that music played too long. It's 8:46.
I thought that was royalty free.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
We'll be all right.
I hear this crap so much every day. It's like, oh no, that's a big hit from '73.
Back when you got that Prelude.
Women are a bunch of boozers. They've been drinking. They're drunk. They're the problem in society today. Amara Durham is going to confirm this for us right now. Good morning, Amara. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I feel like I may have taken it a little too far.
You've already offended her.
Just a little bit. But you are an addiction expert, and I do think that COVID really had an effect on us to the point where today we always think of boozers, those who are consuming too much, overindulging. We always think about men, but maybe it's not all men. What do you think?
And it's not all men. Sadly, the survey just came out, and it showed that American women are really struggling. And in fact, they ranked fourth, out drinking females in other countries. And this is a problem. Women need to step into their power, but they don't need to step in this way.
So, it's so funny that everything is we're in a world right now where everything is cocktail. Cocktail here, the barista. Have you seen that thing?
Barisma, yeah.
Huh?
Barisma.
No, it's barista.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one.
All right. I thought the barista was the person working at Starbucks.
I have no idea. It could be Barisma. I don't even know. By the time I've had two of them, I don't even know what it says. But it's a machine. You put the little cups in. It's like K-cups. You put them in, and it pops out a cocktail. So I think that we're being really hit hard with, you watch your favorite TV programs. It's all around cocktails. I just think today it's a big deal. And then post-COVID, maybe we're creating our own problems here.
Well, what we do know is post-COVID, we have not regained depression improvement at all. In fact, mental health still has not recovered from the pandemic. Anxiety and depression, while improved, is still much higher than pre-pandemic levels. And so you're right. It's so easy to make a cocktail at home and drink alone or drink with others that we are now at the point of celebrating getting drunk.
Yeah.
And that's a really scary message, given that alcohol has become the leading cause of preventable deaths in the U.S.
Yeah. Bartesian, by the way, is we were both wrong.
I like when that happens.
It is always good. Yeah. Do you remember during COVID and garbage day would come and you heard in the right down the street the clanking of the bottles on garbage day? I mean, I know that maybe my neighborhood is just a big drinking neighborhood, but it seemed like it was that way. What's recommended for women in terms of how many cocktails per day?
You know, for men and women alike, the rule of thumb is 1 drink per day, 7 total.
Okay.
And this report shows that women are drinking 6 drinks at least in a single session, which is defined as binge drinking. For men, by the way, that's 7. So think about the body mass of a female versus a male, including muscle mass.
Right.
On average, we're talking about only 1 drink difference. That is a lot of alcohol for anyone to consume, especially when people become physically dependent upon alcohol.
Yeah.
That's a challenge, and that's scary. So we've got to talk about it.
You know, it's funny because I remember having my surgery, and I enjoy a cocktail. Probably maybe too many. As my wife always says, you must cut down. But I remember when I was going into the hospital for a surgery, their question was, do you drink over this amount? Because if you do and you go cold turkey, which you will do when you're in the hospital, it can cause heart failure.
Withdrawals,
so they would actually give you would be given something to ease yourself off that alcohol. That clearly is showing there's a physical problem in people's bodies when they're drinking too much.
Absolutely. Heart disease, stroke, psoriasis of the liver, certain cancers. And yes, given that physical dependence, the heart can truly just fail.
Yeah.
There are ways to get help when someone is trying to cut back, and if they're drinking excessively, cold turkey is not advisable. But calling a doctor to ask for medically supported ways to reduce drinking is critical. In addition, those people who are drinking in excess, they can reach out to friends or family and ask for support or start tracking how much they're drinking.
Yeah.
You know, it sneaks up on us. Put the glasses on the counter instead of in the dishwasher. Use a fresh glass each time and get a visual on how much you're actually drinking or keep a log. Because I think that no one sets out to drink in ways that interfere with their life or their relationships, or even drinking despite the problems it causes their marriage and friendships.
Yeah.
And yes, it's an insidious disease. It does, and they do.
You know, I'll say this, Amara. Never once have I said, boy, I had nothing to drink last night and made a complete fool of myself. Right? It's always, you do something, if you look back on your life, the things that you've done that may be a little on the stupid side or regretful, it's and maybe I'm just talking about my own personal experience. I can almost always track it to alcohol.
I'm almost 2 years without, and it's honestly the best decision I ever made.
Yeah, you've quit. So interesting stuff. Where do you suggest people go other than their physician for help, Amara?
They can go to community meetings, whether that's a 12-step meeting or a smart recovery meeting. They can reach out to online resources for online meetings if they are concerned about privacy. They can reach out to me at amaradurham.com, AMARADURHAM, and get my contact information so I can connect them with local resources.
Is your recommendation just quit drinking, don't drink anything?
Well, I will say that I've yet to see where drinking leads to anything positive when done in excess. For many, drinking nothing at all seems too excessive, and I would say, okay, if it's that important to you, I'd look at that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Amara. Thank you. Have a wonderful holiday. Thank you.
You as well. Thanks so much for talking about this. Bye-bye.
Amara Durham, her nickname Buzzkill, and she's just well,
She's
you know
just
what?
looking to help.
The fact is, it's different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But I do again. I hate to always. I always seem to come back to COVID. Yeah, since COVID.
Yeah, right.
But I do think there's truth to that. I think people became. You're just home all alone. It's like, well, we can't go out, so we'll do the bar thing at home. We'll have happy hour on Zoom, and before you knew it, you were going through a lot more than maybe you did pre-COVID.
Thank God those liquor stores are still open.
That is true, right? That was a big thing. Everybody thought
How is that essential? But
liquor stores were going to close. And you know what? Guess who did the biggest business ever in their existence during COVID? It was liquor stores.
Well, and a lot of that was attributed to the fact that because of what you mentioned with the surgery, a lot of people thought that if those liquor stores closed and people couldn't get what they needed, there would be an influx of people going to the hospital.
Rob says, what a depressing segment. Nice job, Bill. I know.
We aim to please.
Yeah, me too, Mike. I'm reading a comment. And also Mike says, I don't know about that. I've heard you do plenty of stupid things when you're sober. Yeah, well, that's probably true also.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, now, I've been promising to talk about this, how music, all Christmas music, destroyed music.
In general?
I feel it has.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I'm going to make a comparison here, and when I'm done, you tell me I'm wrong. All Christmas music on radio stations has become the steroids of music, like in baseball.
Okay.
What did steroids do to baseball? Answer the question.
Well, it
forget the fact that it caused all the congressional hearings and all. Forget all of that stuff. But what did it do to baseball? It destroyed statistics. It's very difficult to compare what Hank Aaron did
to what Mark McGwire did or Sammy Sosa did.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you compare the two? Now, is this during steroids, or should there be an asterisk, or an asterisk, or many of them? But Christmas music.
That's a very interesting point.
Has done the same thing, and here is the proof. So what I did is I took this week and Billboard's charts, the Billboard Hot 100, and then I went back 40 years. Now, no radio stations were playing all Christmas music. You would go all Christmas music on Christmas Day, or maybe at noon on Christmas Eve. Radio stations would go all Christmas. Today, it's like Halloween. They're like, okay, we're all Christmas. Why? Because it's big revenue and it's big revenue and big listenership. Believe it or not, I never would have thought it to be true. So Billboard magazine rates the music, and they do the Billboard Hot 100. They base it off sales and airplay. So a combination of sales and airplay. Right now, are you ready to? You want to know the top 10 this
on the
week,
Billboard charts?
On the Billboard charts this week.
Let's hear it.
The top 10. Now, there's a big thing. The big story is "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" by Brenda Lee has become the number one song in America for the first time ever since it came out in the late 50s, early 60s. But you can't look at that as a real record, as a real statistic, because it was before radio stations played 24/7 music. So what it's done is it's shot these Christmas songs up to the top of the Billboard charts. Right now, here's the Billboard Top 10. It's going to blow your mind. This is the pop Top 10. You know, when they play the Hot 100 songs, like, I've never heard of this stuff.
Yeah,
What
right.
is that, rap and dance mixed together? I've never heard of it. Number 10 is "It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year" by Andy Williams. Number 9, "Snooze" by SZA. Okay. Number 8, "Point the Town Red," Doja Cat. Number 7, "Cruel Summer" by Taylor Swift. And here we go. Number 6, "Holly Jolly Christmas" by Burl Ives. Number 5, "Last Christmas" by Wham. Number 4, "Jingle Bell Rock" by Bobby Helms. Number 3, Jack Harlow's "Lovin' on Me." is a regular song.
Yeah.
That's at number 3. And heading downward. These will be it'll be all Christmas music next week.
Yeah.
Number 2, All I Want for Christmas, Mariah Carey. And number 1, Brenda Lee, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. So here's my point. Go back 40 years to 1983. Radio stations didn't play 24/7 Christmas music. You know what the top 10 was? Church of the Poison Mind Culture Club. Crumbling Down by Mellencamp at number 9. Huey Lewis, Heart and Soul, number 8. Come On, Feel the Noise by Quiet Riot, number 7. Love is a Battlefield, number 6 by Pat Benatar. Say It Ain't So by Daryl Hall and John Oates. Number 5. Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream. Uptown Girl by Billy Joel. Number 2 was Say, Say, Say by McCartney and Jackson. And number 1 was All Night Long by Lionel Richie. No Christmas music in the charts at all. It's completely changed the way we do statistics in music. And there should be an asterisk, right, on every one of those.
That's an excellent point.
Listen, we got to go. Andrew has news coming up after Fox News, which is right now. WIBX Utica, Rome. It's 9 o'clock.
Fox's Trey Yanks near Gaza also reports.
Just a few minutes ago, sirens were sounding across central Israel, including in the country's second largest city of Tel Aviv. 60 days into this conflict, Hamas and Islamic Jihad have maintained their abilities to fire on major population centers.
And the Wall Street Journal reports Israel is considering flooding tunnels to root Hamas out from underground in Gaza. Next hour at the House, the presidents of Harvard and Penn and MIT will testify at a hearing into anti-Semitism on college campuses amid big pro-Palestinian protests. The FBI director will testify at the Senate next hour. Christopher Wray plans to urge Congress to reauthorize a key provision of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Wray will tell senators that Iran and other foreign adversaries are more brazen in their threats, and stripping the FBI of this tool would be disarmament. Meanwhile, a House Republican probe of the FBI concludes
the Bureau's targeting of Catholic Americans went further than we actually knew. It says the FBI interviewed a priest and a church choir director before issuing that internal memo, which called Catholics potential domestic terrorists.
But Fox's Brooke Singman also reports that probe went nowhere.
The FBI tells me that an internal review conducted by the FBI found no malicious intent to target Catholics or members of any other religious faith.
A vacation nightmare in the Bahamas. A 44-year-old woman from Boston attacked by a shark.
Police say she and a man were paddleboarding in the waters off New Providence Island at the time. A rescue boat came to their aid. The man was unharmed, but it was too late for the woman. She suffered lacerations to the right side of her body and was declared dead at the scene.
That's Tom Graham. America's listening to Fox News.
All right, Christmas will be here before we know it. If you're looking for a really special gift, I encourage you to check out the firearms made right here in America by our great friends at Henry